Yo, 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 what's cracking, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Crossover Podcast. And I decided to take it upon myself and make this whole kind of scene a little bit different. So I excuse being, like 26 minutes late. But had to take care of the family, had to get this stuff together. I got the new camera right here looking crispy. I had to just make sure that if I was gonna be late, that I look good as I can. But anyways, speaking of taking care of family and whatnot, K Mega, good to have
Yes,
you back
sir.
over here on the TSWS channel. We were on your channel last week. How has it been going with you, brother? How you been doing as of lately? What up,
Oh
everybody
man,
that's coming through, though, by the way? But continue, brother.
yeah. Go ahead, share this out. Let everybody. I really do appreciate everybody coming over and checking out the crossover on that. Hit over 1,000 views. That was really, really, really good. Hope that helped out on your channel, brother. You know what I'm saying? That was really good. We had a lot of fun. You know what I'm saying? We hope we can try to hit the same numbers over here as well. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's really not about the numbers. It's just about you know what I'm saying, the exposure. And so
That's
for
right.
you and, you know what I'm saying, I've been in this game for too long. I don't give a damn at this point, but you know what I'm saying? I do enjoy when people come and check us out and you know, it's about you getting to that 1,000. So let's go ahead and subscribe. Go help them out. All the brothers that they do stuff, Loke, Cozy, Mike, you know, all them guys. Well, I should say Mike. I mean Matt, because Mike does stuff with y'all too, right? But is it more with Matt, or does he pop on with y'all?
He kind of does his own thing, kind of, but he does
Uh-huh.
it on the same channel that
Okay.
Matt manages more than I do, called the Game Drain, which is
Yeah.
just like a side channel that we all just kind of just have more as like a test channel of anything. Definitely when it comes to like copyright strikes, we don't want to get that on our main channels. We'll try
Yeah.
that
Don't do
channel.
that.
We'll try that channel. Like, so new music and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Try that channel and give it like a week. You know what I mean? And then like by a
Yeah.
week or two and whatnot, no copyright strikes. I think we good to go.
No
We'll start
doubt. No
implementing
doubt.
stuff into our channels and stuff like that we do over there.
No doubt. That's
But
pretty
yeah,
funny.
that's
But
how the
yeah.
craziness goes. But what's been going on with you other than that?
Oh no, nothing, man. Just chilling. You know what I'm saying? Sorry for guys who is if you know, if you follow me on for fight night Sundays, didn't get a chance to do it. You know, my daughter's birthday is
Tragic.
today, but you know, but my wife and my daughter had something planned. I went to go visit my mom. Come back and they're like, "Where you at?" And then so like, you know, my kids, my son and my daughter was there, you know, having an early birthday dinner and stuff. And so they didn't leave until like at almost 2 o'clock in the damn morning. I'm like, maybe y'all get y'all's old asses out of here. You know what I'm saying? I got things to do. I was planning on getting to it, but it was good. You know what I'm saying? Just kicking with family. It's kind of weird when your kids are grown and you sitting back and y'all drinking, talking, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, you learning more about your older kids and their lives. Yeah, it was pretty wild. But yeah, shout out to my baby girl, Pooh. I call her Poofer. Um, but her name is Jasmine. And so, yeah, it was, you know what I'm saying, just really good. You know, she's turned out to be a strong woman like I was hoping that she would be. And, you know what I'm saying, that's a testament to, you know, just, I give her mom some credit, but then, you know, other than that, you know what I'm saying, but no, I give her mom credit. And then, of course, just, you know, just her determination. But she is a mini K Mega. So if you think K Mega is a mean bastard, just put that in a female form because that is her. She is me up and down. It was pretty funny listening to her last night. So
Okay. That's
yeah.
dope. It's good. It's good to see you kicking it with your family, getting drink
Oh
under
yeah.
the table,
Oh yeah. It
by
was pretty wild. Yeah.
your son whooping your ass, and video
Mm-mm.
games and drinking, and your
Nah.
daughter nailing you with
Nah.
the worms. You can't get away. She got that crosshair that just she just knock a brother out
She
quick.
had to go
I
home
almost said
ashamed.
something else.
Yeah. She said they both had to succumb to the throw needle. You know, my son keep calling me old man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, aren't you almost 50, old man? And I'm like, look, I'm beating you. We was playing. We didn't get to play anything last night, but beforehand, just like last week, my daughter came over and we was playing Worms. She's just obsessed with it and she wants to beat me really bad. And I had to send her home with the L's. And then so my son want to play a couple of fighting games, you know what I'm saying? And he gets it. So my daughter was trying to play some fighting games. I will give her this though. I will give her this because she's not really she used to be as a kid, used to be a gamer, but she hasn't. But the juices is flowing with her again of wanting the game and the competitiveness. And so she did beat me in Jump Force. She figured out something. She picked up the boss characters in Jump Force. And so she beat me a few times, but I had to make sure my son couldn't beat me in anything because that was, you know what I'm saying? We can't have that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to hear about that, but yeah, no, it's all good, man. But yeah, no, it is fascinating to go back and play Worms because that's what we used to do was play that. And, what was that game? It was the Bubble. It's a little
Fight?
puzzle game, but not Bubble Fight, but it was a little puzzle game where you shoot little marbles and they blow up. And but it's not called Bubble something. It's called something. I'm gonna have to look it up. But we used to play that all the time, and so that's going to be the next game that we're probably going to jump into. But yeah, Worms is the hit for us right now, so it's really good.
I think I know what you're talking about. Like you shoot the bubble, and then you have to like shoot the same color ones or something like that.
Yeah,
and it explodes all of them.
And they explode, all of them. If you connect all of them, I forget the name of that game, but we used to play it all the time. And so, yeah, she brought it up last night, but I forgot the game. You know what I'm saying? I forgot the name of the game, so I'm going to have to look it up. If somebody in the chat remember, then, you know what I'm saying, let me know. But yeah, really cool.
I don't remember. I just know what you're talking about. Okay, so as for myself, bro, I'm not sure if you talked about what you've been gaming at all and playing.
Oh, yeah.
But I'll go on ahead and go first since you just got done going for a little bit. As for myself, I've been playing an assortment of games, pretty much beating around the bush when it comes to Diablo. But like yesterday I was playing some Madden, I played some Call of Duty. Yeah, I played Madden. Yeah, I played Madden. I did not enjoy myself at all. I didn't. I tell you why. Because I went to go start up a new career, and it was an unskippable cutscene. And I turned off the game soon after that. Because what I was doing is I continued my Face of the franchise because I was like 3 games deep in that. And I was just like, I'm not really feeling this character anymore. He's just a little dude, little running back, you know. It was just like a little running back dude. I wasn't really feeling it. It was like Ezekiel Elliott size running back, right? I kind of wanted to make something more like Derrick Henry. I wanted to do something like I wanted to make something a little bit bigger, or even possibly become a wide receiver. And then I noticed that I already had made a wide receiver one, but he hadn't been played yet. I made a wide receiver for the Chicago Bears. Right?
Okay.
So I was just like, oh, let's go. I was like, I already have a wide receiver set up. Let's go. I don't have to do the stats or any of this stuff anymore. I can just hop into it. I hit X to simulate to go to play the first game, and there's a cutscene. And I remembered the cutscene. And I was just like, I don't want to watch this.
Oh, man.
3 minutes later, I was just like, I can't do this anymore. And I just shut it off. I shut it off and turned on XO Primal. Like a real man.
Oh,
like a real man. And I tell you what, XO Primal has been like my escape game as of lately. Whenever I just I just don't feel like playing this, or I don't have too much time, but I want to do something, I'll play that. But something else I got into that was really random is the very first God of War. The remaster.
Really?
Yeah, I turned on my PS3 last night and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna play some God of War.
Did you I know this is your first time playing the first God of War, right?
Yes, it is. Well, it's my first time playing it It's my first time playing it on my account. I played God of War on PS2 long time ago, but I was like so young. I don't remember that stuff. Like I did like a couple levels, and I think it was at like a friend's house. And then I played some on my buddy's PS3, but I don't count that, really as like a full on experience.
Right, experience.
So like I threw it in and like started from the beginning, right? Where there's I forgot, like the monster coming out of the water, like the 3-headed thing or whatnot.
Yeah, Leviathan or whatever the thing was. Yeah,
I forget what it's called. It's like the dragons coming out of the water or something like that. I beat them. Got through. Got the Medusa skull. Started turning everything to stone and whatnot. Game is dope. It's a lot of fun. Very, very much a game of that time period. Like Marlo Briggs.
Right.
Yes. But a lot of people don't realize about me, I didn't have a PS3 or a PS4 during those generations. I was strictly Xbox. Okay? So I mean, I'm telling you, this original Xbox, the OG Xbox, changed my life. That changed the way I game. So I just seen the PS3 come out, and I was just like, I'm good. Especially when they showed that price, I was just like, you're out of your goddamn mind. No way. Right. And the 360 was like half the price. Oh man, no way. Yeah, ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no fucking way, bro. It was just like one of those situations, right? So, but I tell you, I've been digging into some of these PS3 games, Afro Samurai, God of War. I mean, I've been playing these not just like recently. Some of these have been over like the last couple years, but like as well as like Metal Gear Solid. I couldn't stand the button, so when they announced the remake, I stopped. What are some other ones? I mean, there's a ton of them. Split Second. I mean, I could go on and on these different games that I've been playing. Resistance.
Yeah, well, that was it right there. Yeah, those were it.
NCAA 14.
The GOAT. The GOAT.
Exactly.
That's the GOAT. Yeah.
So I tell you what, I'm having a good time. But one thing I want to say about God of War before I relieve this over to you is, man, oh man, on like the second or third scene, titties.
Let's go. David Jaffe put it on.
I was just like, oh my goodness. And
let's go.
And like as soon as you get into that scene, he's like, get out of my bed.
That's right.
he's like, get
that's
your
that
stuff
pimp.
And get out. As soon as we get
that's
to the port, get out.
Let's go. Yeah, man.
I was just like, bro.
Satisfy them loins and get on. I loved it.
I mean, I've heard about it. I've heard about it plenty, but I've never actually seen it for myself. And then people are just getting their heads chopped off over and over and over through that game. When like I've seen some people playing it, I've watched some stuff on YouTube, but you never really understand it until the controller's in your hands, right?
Yeah.
And seeing some of those cutscenes, unfold, I'm just like, man, ain't nobody getting spared around here. I'm going to go save somebody, and as soon as I walk in, they just get murdered right in front of me, and I'm just like, what did I just do all that for?
Right.
It's crazy. But anyways, bro, what have you been playing with?
All right, so to your God of War, Reb, yeah, like that's why it's for me that I will always cherish the older God of Wars, and not to take away anything from Corey Balrog's God of War. Those are good, but nah, man, they were just hitting different. Those older God of Wars just hit different, and I would recommend to go back and play. I would play all three. I would even go and play Ascension. If you don't have Ascension, I would go get Ascension because Ascension was not as bad as people perceived it to be. It was not the best God of War, but it was the prettiest God of War next to when you see the remaster of God of War 3, which my God, God of War 3 was everything. And even with the Chains of Olympus on the PSP and just God of War is just that is my favorite PlayStation franchise. And I want that game to succeed, to be the biggest. I always wanted it to be at the forefront over The Last of Us, over Nathan Drake, over everything PlayStation had, Twisted Metal, everything. Because God of War just felt like it was that game. And now I think officially that I think we could say God of War is PlayStation's top end best game. I don't know.
Think of all time?
I think of all time. I think that there will be people that will.
Do you think it's the greatest of all time just because it transitioned from old to new? Because if they would have never did the transition and just left it as is, do you think it'd have the same cachet?
Oh, absolutely. I absolutely. But I think it would still have the same cachet. But I think that's the thing of where and I hate always bringing Halo into this, but this is the stuff that Halo needs to do, is to take the chance and stick with it. Do not relinquish and go back, because I was one of the old heads. I was one of the like how like the Halo old heads are like, we got to keep Chief as this and that and blah, blah, blah. I felt the same way about God of War. Like, man, this ain't my God of War. This ain't, Chief is not Chief, but Kratos is a dad, bro. What? He's decent. He's calm. He's gonna be what? I was disgusted actually. And then when I'm listening, I'm reading on how they're trying to do it, and I was like, oh no, man, this is, what did you do to it? But actually, when I played the game, beat it, I understood everything, and it just came from the growth of Kratos from where he was to now where he's headed. And I look forward to playing Ragnarok when it comes to PC. So, but
Ragnarok's fantastic. It's a
I can't wait. But the way that they brought the Blades of Chaos and all that, and I'm like, his past came back and he had to get raw again. But listen, I just feel that, and I know people will debate me about what The Last of Us and things like that, but God of War, because of this transitioning, and this is something that I think we've had conversations about, like Twisted Metal. Twisted Metal to me cannot have a transition.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Remember, Peacock premieres Twisted Metal, I believe, on the 27th?
7th, on Thursday.
On the
Thursday.
27th. So
yeah,
I just wanted to put that right there.
Yeah.
Continue now.
Well, I just saying, Twisted Metal cannot have the transition like a God of War can. You see what I'm saying? Like, for instance, like Twisted Metal has to be dark. Twisted Metal has to be dark. Yeah, the whole Calypso story, every character within, however the TV show is fine, but the game has to be absolutely dark. If they try to make anything lighthearted about Twisted Metal, it just won't work. It just won't work. Because the story is just as impactful to Twisted Metal. What'd you say?
Sweet Tooth has a son.
Sweet Tooth has a son.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Named Caramel Drop.
Oh, then it's a girl, and no, stop it.
Oh anyway, no, his name's Cotton Candy. How about that?
Cotton Candy. Oh, stop it. Okay, anyway, but no, but some games just can't have that type of transition. And for, you would think that, and I thought God of War couldn't have that transition, but it did, and it worked. And so that's why I'm thinking like God of War should be looked at as the best PlayStation game of all time. And what I'm saying? It just is, in my opinion. I know people would debate me about it, but I just don't see why. I mean, especially for all the gore, the this and that, some of the best combat in any game. It kind of revolutionized the button sequence. That was kind of like the original game that did that to where you had to push a button and then a sequence would happen and things like that. That no, God of War is just one of those games, man. It's a Rushmore title, and it should get its flowers.
So, man, I feel like I'm lingering around this topic a little bit, but I just
Yeah.
kind of wanted to ask while we're here, like, obviously, every time a generation seems to come out since, we always end up referencing back to it. A lot of people think it's the golden era of gaming. Some
Mhm.
argue the previous generation might have been, but a lot of people are thinking that the 360 and the PS3 were the true golden era, because also with like multiplayer being a main thing in video games. How do you stack up now versus then? And here's how I want to really transition and hit this topic hard, because we were talking about this
Yeah.
right before we got into this show, and I just thought it was just so dang interesting, because it's just like, yo, like, obviously me, UK Mega, and a lot of you out there viewing, yes, John Wolf, a Boogeyman, a Masshole, Jason Portillo, Back from the Dead, Stanley
Go.
Francois, all y'all out there. I'm sure you guys have heard this before, that subscription services or yada 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 is like killing or doing some sort of harm to gaming, and how bad it is and whatnot. But then you also hear honest opinions from the side saying, you know what, but I'm just a regular person. You don't see me buying every single movie that comes out. You don't see me buying every single CD that comes out. I listen to that stuff on Spotify or YouTube Music, or watch it on Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, HBO Max. Like, yo, like, this is a different time in how we consume games. And what I'm kind of alluding to is the types of games that we have today. I'm asking you first. I want you to answer this, and I'll kind of answer it after you get done. I want you to answer first. Do you think that these games today are better or worse than the games of yesteryear that everybody wants to refer back to?
It is so weird. I mean, that is such a good question because, man, I will say this. When I go back and I think about some of the best games that I've ever played, or my best gaming experiences, it's from the golden age. And my golden age is a little bit further back than the 360, PlayStation 3 era. It goes back to the PlayStation 1, Sega, Genesis, Sega CD, the Sega Saturn, Nintendo NES, Nintendo Dreamcast, the 3DO, the TurboGrafx 16. You even go into even Atari Jaguar had a couple of games that was pretty damn good. And if you had a friend, because there was no way in hell that I could have afforded it back then, the Neo Geo box. And then add on top of that the arcade. That era from that time period to me is the golden age, because there was just too many hot ass games coming from that, and it was so much variety and so much, and not only even with the games having so much variety, but it was just the consoles themselves had so much variety. Like the Sega Genesis was different than the Nintendo. The Nintendo was different from the PlayStation. The 3DO was different from all those other this TurboGrafx 16. They all had something special. And when you look at games, going back to when I talk about fighters, that beloved fighters, when you go back to thinking about Toshinden, Battle Arena Toshinden, Bloody Roar, you talk about Star Gladiator, you go into, I told you about games that RPGs, when I first got into that in that time period with, Legend of Legaia, Legend of Lagoon, Xenogears, and you got Wild Arms, you got, of course, the Final Fantasies, and then you go even deeper and play you play the SMT series, and then it translates to the Persona to Persona, and then there's Soul Hackers, and all three of those are tied in together in that universe. Like it so much, and then you got like Legion of Chaos and so many damn games and variety. And then when you play a game like Metal Gear Solid 2. I think that's what it was. Metal Gear Solid, or was Metal Gear Solid 2? I think it was Metal Gear Solid. It was the one where you first played as well, I'm getting old because so many games you play where you go and an old dude reads, you fight a boss, and the boss reads your memory card.
Oh, you're talking about Metal Gear Solid?
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid.
That's supposed to be the first one, yeah. With
that was it, yeah, and then 2 is afterwards, yeah. That was nuts. Then you had a game like Parasite Eve, and then you beat that, and then there was a boss that just would not die. Like, what? How many damn this damn boss in Parasite Eve had more transformations than something in Dragon Ball Z. It was insane. But when you beat it, the sense of accomplishment, but even the storylines were deep. And then, of course, Resident Evil back then. I could go back and think of some of the best experiences of having a house full of people who weren't gamers. It was an apartment at that time. Apartment full of people. We're all getting ready to go out to the club. And I'm talking about men and women. And they're all watching me play Resident Evil while we drinking. It was just the wildest and just dopest times because, just games were just different and they weren't like that. And they just was the atmosphere behind them. Like it was actually really gaming became a culture instead of just a kiddie box. So, I mean, and then you go and like we just talked about Twisted Metal and God of War, and then you go and look at a game like Kid Nicky from the NES and Kung Fu. Like all those games had something, not only in just one of the biggest games for me, to where it was the first game where I started as a little kid trying to learn how to play it, then become a teenager and finally beat it, Rygar. Like that era of gaming from that point, from the NES all the way to the
all the way back to the 80s.
Yeah, I'm going back to that. No, and even when I've beaten games like The Witcher 3 and Dragon Age Inquisition and Mass Effect and games like that, those games resonate with me and they're fantastic, but still there's still more games from the classic era that I feel that just hold up for more for me than it does for games now these days. Because I think a lot of games with these days are trying to find that same formula to make it work. And I want that uniqueness because I want a game like a Most Wanted a Wanted Dead or an Exo Primal. I'm glad that they're starting to step out of that and stop just trying to make the same type of game because they feel that that's going to be a hit. So I would say the old golden era is better.
Oh, wow. So you think the old golden era is better in is there a specific reason why? Like, I know you just got done like announcing a ton of different reasons, but if you had to solidify it and just tell somebody like specifically, this is why. Like, would you like capsulate it in like just freedom, or would you say, but then you're asked at the same time, well, how would you encapsulate freedom? Is it the ability to like port wherever? Because you remember you couldn't really exactly do that even back then.
Right, back then, right.
Even back then, you couldn't do that.
Right. So, it was. Oh no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I'm just curious, like, is it for the fact that like licensing wasn't so stringent? Like, what exactly is that really thing that kind of turns the key that doesn't do it the same now?
It's the variety. It's the not afraid to bring something like we won't see a Jet Moto anymore. You know what I'm saying? We won't see a Wipeout XL. We see those type of games, but do anybody really think that we'll see another Wipeout XL? I would love to see that. Would people that
That'd be
are we
interesting.
damn we would damn sure not see another and there was somebody that brought that up. Eternal Champions. We're back. Hell, we're begging to try to get another Killer Instinct. Let alone try to see if we if they would ever bring back Battle Arena Toshinden. You see what I'm saying? Like, or let's just get out of the fighting space. Let's just talk about a game like I mean, there's so many. A game like Manhunt.
Ooh.
Do you think that they would bring that game back? I would love for them to make a remake of that. That would be perfect. But we're in a time where gamers. I mean, I'm loving that they're getting back to trying to bring the variety back into gaming because it was kind of stale there for a little while. After I think last gen for me, not so much during the 360 PlayStation 3 era. Those games were still coming in, but then it just stopped. But now it seems like they're trying to get there. But the freedom of what you were talking about, that where they had no holds barred, where you could just play any damn thing, like and it doesn't matter. It could be the most raunchiest game or it could be the most kiddie game. There was so much of a gap in between. That's why I say that era was just better because there was so much flexibility and then not on top of all that, like when I brought up Xenogears, that game was touching on religious tones, and I mean heavily. I don't know if a game would want to touch on that without being scrutinized and then people not even want to give it a chance. Again, people were much more open. Gamers were much more open, I believe. And in this generation or this era of like the social media, everybody wants to shit on everything. It's like if I give this shock and awe of this to get attention and views by saying that's trash, this is shit. I'm going to, you know what I'm saying, for being negative, more people and the gaming media is more so to do that than they were to say, well, how about we give this game a chance? How about we do this? How about we do that? A game like Bleeding Edge, it may not have been a hit, but it still would have got looked at and revered differently than it does now. That's my whole point. And so that's why, to me, I feel like the golden era is just better overall.
And you would specifically say those years are
from you talk about from the years that I from which years?
Yeah.
I would say from 1985 to let me take it back. From 1988 to 2002.
Wow, that's a big that's a large era. Damn.
But I mean that's when games were. I mean, you could even take. I mean, if you want to.
This man took damn near a quarter century.
Gaming was at its pinnacle from that era, from 88 to 2002. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you go and you stop at 2002, you had Halo, you had a game, you had Seaman, you had Shenmue, and you go and you go all the way to 88, you had Mario, you had Duck Hunt, you had, bro, and everything in between, Tekken and Madden and Bill Walsh football and Hockey 94 and, bro, it was just so much. That era of gaming cannot be duplicated. I just don't see it because it's just the way that, because of the diversity of just the consoles themselves and what those games brought, not only just from what was coming from the western side and from the east side, I mean, from east or west, it was just, it was a smorgasbord.
See, why so serious? I heard that too. You said Seaman.
Yeah, see, you don't remember Seaman? You don't remember Seaman on the Dreamcast? Pause, I guess. You know what I'm saying? You remember being on the fish, man? You know what I'm saying? Come on now. Come on, man. Pause.
All right, so all right. All right, so let me go on ahead and
I'm
acknowledge.
showing my age with these games. Oh
Let
shit!
me go on ahead and acknowledge the chat because I appreciate every one of you guys for being here. Please go on ahead, hit that like button if you haven't already. Share this out. Let everybody else know that we're out here live doing our thing. We got 20 viewers watching right now. Let's get those numbers up if we can. Not that it's completely about that stuff, but I mean, share the stuff out. It's free to do. It don't hurt. But at the same time, like let me go on ahead and read some of these before I disagree with part of your statement, K-Mega. Because
Yes, sir.
I agree with most of what you said, but some of that time I believe that you picked is just kind of like I'll have my grievance here in just a moment. Let me go on ahead to the chat real quick. Back from the dead, just saying what's up to everyone earlier. Chicken Eye 210 says K Mega the GOAT. Oh my goodness, do not say that.
Let's go.
Say that. This man. Relax. Anyways, yes, John Wolf said the Hydra. Yeah, the Hydra was that first
Hydra. That's what it was. He had a three-headed
first bot fights. Yeah, with the three heads, the two little ones, and then like the massive monster one at the. Oh my goodness, that sounds crazy saying. But anyways, John Wolf also says $5.99 Ridge Racer. Disrespect.
Ridge Racer 4 has still got some of the best gaming music ever.
It was a fantastic. It was a really great game. Let me keep going. Back from the Dead says the old God of Wars were fun, but as a dad, it's easier to relate to 2018 God of War. I could see that, but
only thing I can relate to is saying boy, because that's what I say to my son. Boy, I still call him boy to this day.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the new God of War, I maybe see what he's saying here. I think the new God of War is definitely much more relatable as a character.
Yeah,
and then also just kind of the way you would think versus in the new God of War, it's like I wouldn't do that. This man is insane. Like Kratos in that game was freaking nuts. But then again, you're also not walking in on people getting stabbed and stuff like that all the time. Let's see. Continuing on, John Wolf says Kratos is just badass, and the story with the god is good evergreen material. Jeremy Brown says, I don't care for a sad dad 1 and 2. Oh, damn. Man. Damn.
Sad dad.
He said, sad dad 1 and 2. He said, I'll forever pick the OG trilogy over those new God of Wars. Fair. Boogeyman, what's cracking? Jeremy Brown says, 360, PS3, Wii, and PC. That's the greatest era in gaming, in my young, ignorant opinion. Fair enough. I like the way he ended that too, because he just said he said you can't come after me after that one. But anyways, Back from the Dead says it's hard to compare OG Xbox, GameCube, and PS2 era and before to 360, PS3, and Wii till now. The internet changed so much with day one patches. That's a fact.
But we're talking about games, though.
Yeah, we're just talking about the games. We're not talking about the difficulty around playing some of these games.
And a lot of those games played damn good, back then. So not all of them, of course, but most of them.
All right, and then we got I'm gonna skip down because we need to keep moving. Lady Foxfire came through saying, "Oh my God, this man said Jet Moto and Wipeout. You're pulling at my hairstrings, boy."
Let's go, Lady Foxfire.
Jeremy Brown says, folks nowadays think high-end graphics is the pinnacle of gaming. Right. That's a fair, interesting statement right there, because a lot of people really liked, and I've caught some flack with this before, but a lot of people really liked Callisto Protocol. I was just like, this feels like a low budget Dead Space that looks higher budget.
Really? That's I
It
haven't played
looks
it,
higher
so
budget because of the graphics. But
right.
once you get in and play, you feel like a refrigerator trying to fight.
See.
Like it's just like like turning around, you feel like the Hunchback in Notre Dame. Like you can't like turn your neck. You got to swing your entire body. You like it's just playing that game. It's it's fun at times. The dodging mechanics very interesting. But it's just kind of like I don't know. To me, it looks more technical than it feels when you're playing it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Doc Dark, what's cracking? He just popped through here. I'll get to that tweet here in just a second. And I do want to bring back up something that we've talked about on the channel, but not. I haven't talked about it with you on this channel. We did talk about a little bit on GRG this last week, the Spider-Man stuff and
Yeah.
whatever. But anyways,
Yeah.
Back from the Dead. Back from the Dead said the cartridge era worked at the time, but wouldn't trade it for a disc internet era now. Oh shit! How about
But
that?
see that, but we're talking about
The
games. We're
people
not
in
talking,
the people in
and
the gaming
also from my
community I've
era.
met. Hold on, let me finish. He said the people in the
Oh,
gaming
okay.
community I've met in the last 5 years has changed my experience in gaming. I think that's a fair take.
Okay, but so like that's my point was going to be on that. Like from my era, from I'm saying from '88 to 2002, there was cartridges and discs.
Right.
So let's not forget that the Sega CD, the PlayStation One, I mean even the PlayStation Two, you got the
Saturn,
Dreamcast and the OG
Dreamcast,
Xbox, all
Xbox,
were
PlayStation,
play. You know what I'm saying? They all had discs. You know
GameCube, even
yeah, the GameCube had this, so it's more of a thing for
Jaguar.
me. Yeah, Jaguar had this, the 3DO had this, so it wasn't just about. I mean, and you still had long gaming experiences with games with discs and cartridges like you do now. It's just that some games, these games are much more bigger, I would say about that, but I'm talking about more so about the games, not about the technology. Everybody knows the technology in gaming is far more superior, but I'm talking about I was asked about the impact of the games from the golden era to now, and I just feel that even though I've had some really great experience with some
Fair.
games, the older games is it's still king for me right now.
And here's why I agree with that, but disagree with part of your era
Okay.
announcement a little bit. So, I
Okay.
mean, I do think going that far back
Mm-hmm.
is fine.
Okay.
I think going that far back to the NES is like perfect starting kind of point, right? But
Yeah.
then you stopped at 2002.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd have to stop at more of 2013, like right when the new consoles kind of came out. DRM really became something for, I mean, Xbox definitely championed that moment, but
Right.
PlayStation even had it of its own. And continuing into this generation, sure, but that's not the reason. Okay. The reason to me was I felt like from all the way in the past, all the way up until the end of the PS3, the 360 generation, video
Mm-hmm.
games were made with the thought process of your time in mind. And I feel like these games nowadays are trying to trap me in the game so much that sometimes it doesn't become fun or replayable again.
Mm-hmm.
Games back like Midnight Club, that was a long game, right?
Yeah.
But I could replay it because it wasn't trying to get me to do silly, stupid things all the time. Let me get to the super chat before I continue.
Right.
John TJ says, everyone please hit the like. Thank you. $10 super chat from John TJ. I'm saying this all backwards. But anyways, he says, everyone please hit the like button. Hi Ham, the 360 was my favorite age of gaming. Midnight Club, Blur, Prototype, and Halo 2 and Halo 3 and Fable, Forza, Need for Speed, Most Wanted, um, and Mech
Assault.
Assault. Yep.
Yeah.
And then he throws a $2 super chat in there as well, saying, so starting from the OG Xbox. So now I was gonna say, wait a second, some of those is older, but but I mean, with that backwards compatibility, it don't feel too old, do it? And we'll get into that here in a little bit, talking about the revival of Call of Duty and some of these old Halo, or not Halo, but Gears of War and the 1,500 games that were supposed to be coming through this new service that's provided that you could either purchase by the year or for the lifetime. We'll get into that here in just a little bit. But as I was saying, I feel like the 360 and the PS3 generation was the last real generation to have just a library of games that respect your time. They were moving into some games that were more long term, more online. And I feel like the online thing is really the explosion that made things so infinite feeling, I guess. But let's not pretend like Diablo or World of Warcraft hasn't been around. Right? Let's not pretend that hasn't been around for forever. Gauntlet games have been around forever. So I mean, there has been those forever games for sure, but I feel like some of the fetchy quest kind of games, some of the silly games that you see, I hate to use the term like fodder, but I hate to use a term like fodder, but at the same time, I just seen that game that came out on Switch trying to copy The Last of Us. I'm just like, what are we doing with our time now, gaming? Like, you could be helping or working on something bigger and more grandeur, but I see if there's those kind of people willing to work for however long they work. I don't think that was too crazy long that they worked on that fake Last of Us game, right?
Right.
But if you're willing to do that for $1, think of the internals of some of these big games that are trying to trigger you into playing stuff way too long. I can tell you one thing that I've been getting frustrated with is in Diablo, man, I'm not even going to talk about specifically like starting all over with the character. It's the man, I tell you what, bro. How long it takes so long to get all those Lilith statues. All of them.
Yeah.
I started up a new character with the new season, and I was riding my horse right after a fight, ran into a Lilith statue, and I got so turned off when I seen a Lilith statue. I was just like, I walked up to it, and it was like, hit X. I hit X and it revealed it, and I was just like, hell no. I turned the game off right then and there, bro. I was just like, dude, that triggered like just that feeling of just. I understand it gives you XP, but it's just like all over again. Like, there's hundreds of these things. And it's just I don't know. Maybe that's just me complaining.
Well, you're saying that you think that you had to find all of them again?
Oh, I would with that character with the new season. Yeah.
No.
Yes.
I still got all my Liliths that I found. I haven't found them all yet, but my map is open and everything.
Them all, K Mega. I found
them
all.
And they started you over?
In the new season, it's all over again.
No. I've been playing. I got a level 20, and I got my map and everything is still the same. Okay. I'm gonna boot it up. I was just playing it. I was just playing it before we started. I'm booting it up right now because I see all the statues there. I see all the statues. Matter of fact, I might have to change my camera right fast to let you see.
Yeah, do it.
I will. Hold on. It's loading up now.
Please do. Because I'm curious about that. Because I'm like 99% sure I found like every single Lilith statue in that game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very confident. But
Did
see,
you get an achievement?
Tim Per 21 says you have to start over.
You got to start over your character, but not the map or nothing.
Yes, you don't get any of those extra points and stuff that you got from like the whatchamacallits. Yes, if you check the season, if you literally started a new character, check to have that season on there the same time or around the same time that you're checking to not do hardcore or to do hardcore or whatnot, starting all over.
Oh shit! You're right.
I'm
Wait a minute. Okay.
I told you, bro. I ran into a Lilith statue and I was like, "Get me out of here."
Well, at least all my whatchalls are still here.
Exactly.
I haven't even really I haven't all my whatchalls. I know where they are. I just haven't picked them up. That's
and
what,
see,
okay. All right.
and this is why I told you. Shout out to Drawn TJ with $2 super chat. He said they nerfed the Necromancer, which Necromancer is so dope. So dope.
Yeah, he did, but the Necromancer is a monster. I'm playing with the Necromancer now. I can see why everybody was playing with the Necromancer. When my first character, it was the Barbarian, and I'm like 80 something with the Barbarian now. And I'm going to get him to 100. Don't know if I'll get this Necro to 100, but I'll get him close. I'm pretty sure.
So am I right or wrong with that? That you have to start all over? Because Drawn TJ in the chat is saying that I'm wrong. That you have to start over. I'm pretty sure when you choose the season, you have to start over.
Right. I'm gonna change the camera. Hold on. I'm gonna change the camera.
Are you right?
I had to change the camera. Focus the map down. The only thing that I need to restart is my my waypoints. I got to go over and redo my waypoints. Hold on. Let me where I'm at.
That on right now as well, then, because That's frustrating. That is frustrating. But anyways,
there you go.
Oh, okay.
You see it right here. Yeah. See right here.
No, it's not on. No, it's not on.
It's not. What you mean it's not on?
You have to go into your.
Oh, I gotta go to my Discord. Okay, hold on. I gotta go to Discord. Hold on. Let me go to Discord. Hold on. Let me change it. Hold on. Damn it. Where is it at? I forgot where. Oh, there we go. There we go. See it? They're there. They're still all found. The only thing I got to do is I got to go through and.
And that's your new character?
Yeah. This is my Necro.
It is nice.
Yeah. See, that's my Necro.
What the hell?
Yep, it's my Necro. Yep, I'm a level 20.
Man, I'm happy to be corrected on that shit. Because, bro,
you see,
I told you I wanted to chuck my damn controller, bro.
Because that's what I was afraid of. I found every bit of this map.
See, it had you worried too.
It had you. Yeah, that had me worried. If I go through here and gotta find this, open up this map again, then I'm going to waste my money. But that was what I was going to get mad about because I'm like, that shit was tough to find every bit. I got an achievement when I found every bit of the map, but yeah, I still haven't found all the Lilith maps, but as you can see, all the Lilith, all the ones that I found, it's there. They're there. So yeah, but I just got to go and I got to just go to reactivate the waypoints. So yeah, okay, all right, yeah, you had me nervous because at first I had the camera on this and I was like, he's right, and I was about to put my hand down, like, no,
I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm sitting here looking at this, and all of my altars of Lilith are at 0.
Tap your your right analog. Tap it up once, and you should be able to see them.
No, I'm telling you from hitting Y and going hit Y, okay. And look in the bottom right corner. You see the altar of Lilith?
Yeah.
You have not found them all.
No, I haven't found them all, but they're all marked because I haven't found them all. I never said I found all of those the Liliths, but all the ones that I
But what I'm
found,
saying, no way, because
they're
I
there.
found, I found, I don't understand. Then
Do you see
did you
it?
not do?
Like,
Did you not do the one with the new? Did you? Are you sure you checked for the season pass?
yes, this is the season pass. This is the new character. Hold on, I'll show you. Hold on. Hold on. Where do I need to go to right here? This is my season. Yes, right here.
I don't understand why.
Yeah.
Because it warns me if I want to go back to my old season. It says if you want to access whatever, you'll need to create a new character or whatever. If I choose a non-seasonal and jump
No,
into the game,
you see, I got my stuff right here. I can open this stuff right now because I accidentally hit the button and started. I was going to try to hold it and wait. So people who's playing, if you do got the season, hold on and wait. Do not press anything because it does have a weird way. If you press something, it's going to shoot already to your 25. Hold on to it. Just pay attention to it when you activate your when you start your character. See, yeah, I can claim all this stuff. You see this?
I'm literally on my 64 Necromancer right now, and I'm seeing every single Lilith statue, like Alter Lilith. I have 33, 34, 31, 34, 28.
Okay, I'm finna. Okay, right here. I'm finna back out. Hold on, let me back out.
I'm not sure what's going on here. This is nuts because then I exit the game and go back to my other character.
See,
which I named Killmonger.
It says it right there. Okay, my character's 77 out of 80. But see, you see right there, seasonal is my is the necromancer, and then the other character I was working on, the rogue, and then my barbarian. I need to understand. Oh yeah, I was helping somebody out while I was on Nightmare 3. I need to get my boy back up to 4. Hold on, let me do that right fast. Oh no, I don't. Oh, well, hold on. What's this? If you,
my goodness.
I got to do that. So yeah,
I think,
I don't know.
You know what just happened?
What'd you do?
I turned on. I turned on the game. Went to the character. It didn't say. I was just talking to you and saying, oh, it didn't say it has all my Alter Liliths. And now I re-enter back into the game. I go to the exact same page. It says I have them all. I don't know what to do with this game.
Okay.
I don't know what to do with this game.
Oh no.
I don't know what to do with it. My complaint is now null and void. My complaint is completely null and void now.
Oh man.
That was dirty, Diablo. I don't appreciate that. Because I
get the ass, Diablo.
I literally went to a Lilith statue. I literally went to a Lilith statue and you can ask Matt likes games because I was playing with him and I went into and he listened to me. I was so angry.
Cook him, Diablo. Cook him.
Disrespectful. Anyways, $2 super chat from Sir X Man in the chat saying Ant Stream. He said I'm trying to get out of this topic because that was a glorious L.
Oh man.
Yeah, Sir X Man with $2 super chat saying Ant Stream made me realize how hard games were. That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Games back in the day, you got a couple lives and then you got to restart all over again. And some of those games didn't even have cheat codes.
Nope.
So you could just like keep dying or whatnot. I mean, everybody, talks about how hard. I mean, bro, you talk about Souls games being hard, Bloodborne's hard, Elden Ring's hard. Bro, I dare you. Make it to the end of Mario. The cartridge, the NES version.
Bro.
Just today, go turn that joint on. Go play it. And let everybody know you beat it. Go on ahead and take a picture. And if you want to say, oh yeah, I could do that, I dare you to not only do that, but go through every level of that game. Don't do those skips. Because we know that there's skips in that game, right? And if you do every level of Mario, you're a goddamn maniac.
Oh, I did. I did. The first Mario.
Yeah.
Mario 1 and 2 and 3. I went through all those levels. I did.
I want to see somebody to this day do it because back then we had no choice, right?
No,
That was
there was a secret.
That was a staple game
that you could skip. No. The first Mario, there was a secret world. I forgot what level was. It was like level 2 or
level 2. You jump on top of the. The first underground level. You can jump on top of those rocks,
and then you
pop
up in like level, and you pop up on level 7. There was a secret passage where you went inside of one of those tubes, and then one of those tubes, and then it would pop you up into level 7. I think it was like level 2. It was level 2 or level 3. I can't remember which level it was. And then you go in and you pop up at level 7. Yeah. And then
no. I knew that. Yeah. I was saying, oh snap, because I see Still Rain up in the chat. What's cracking, my man? Thanks for coming through. It's been a minute since I seen you, dog. He says he said July Camp Buyers live stream. That be the main thing that will carry over from the preseason to season of Malignant are map progress and Altar of Lilith completions. Thank you. I mean, like, obviously you're saying something that I just literally looked at and figured out. Thank you, K Mega, for telling me, hey, don't give up. Get your ass back in there and recheck that shit. Because if it wasn't for K Mega, your bro was on the edge. Remember the K Mega just a couple days ago? I was like,
I said, you gonna run with me? He was like, nah, man, I'm a little burnt out. I'm like, I was like, cool, bro. That's man,
I told you, I was like, bro, I think I might delete this game. You're like, don't do that.
I was like, damn. I'm like, what?
I was on the edge. I'm telling you, I was on the edge with it. I couldn't take it. After I seen the Altar of Lilith thing, I just couldn't take it no more, K Mega. I couldn't take it. Man, so I'm so happy. I'm so happy that Drawn TJ, not only did he tell me I was wrong, he paid to tell me I was wrong. He's like, here's a couple dollars, dumbass. You wrong.
He said, how do you, he also asked, how do you activate the 20 level skip? Okay.
Oh, that's a K-Mega question because I didn't get that one. I got the $90 version.
Yeah, see, he was over here talking bad about me because he said, oh yeah, you over here trying to you didn't want to go through the fire. You want to try to find the easy way out. And as we come to find out, I had to go through the fire, burn, and be scraped up. This man get back down on me. I'm like, hey, Ham, where you at? Man, I'm a little burnt out. Like, damn it, I'm fighting my battles alone. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm getting hit up and helping other people that was trying to get there. But anyway, I'm restarting it again. It's in. Okay, hold on. Let me go look. Then you got some more super chats, so go ahead and read those.
Oh yeah, okay. $2 super chat from Sir X Man saying Earthworm Jim and Rygar are harder than new games.
Bro, talk about
Earthworm Jim ain't no easy feat. I tell you that, man. I was ready to break my controller when I was a little kid playing Earthworm Jim, bro. Like when you die. That animation when you die used to make me so angry. Where his like head would like sizzle up, remember?
Last one, yeah, and just go away.
Just that little pop used to piss me off, bro.
Oh
man, those old school games. Those old school games were no joke, bro. No damn joke. But man, I got so far off topic. I don't even remember what I was talking about anymore.
Oh man. Okay, so this man. Drawn T asked me
about how to activate the 20.
Yeah. Okay. So what you do is that you go into when you go into your you press start, and then it's going to. You press the back button, and then there's going to be where it says season, map, collections, social, clan, shop, game. Right. So you go to seasons. And then right there, it says season journey. And then you'll have this thing that says season blessings. And then at the bottom of that, it'll say your premium battle pass activate. So when you go down to the bottom where it shows a little box, it says
Why is this
premium
so
pass
long?
pass activate. You press that, and then it'll automatically give you a 25. It'll give you to 24 or 25 things. I was gonna hold it, but my ass hit, it's too curious. I'm curious George up in here, and I pressed the book button, and then it went boom. I'm like, damn. So for people out here who have not used their premium pass yet, or activated it, hold it. The best thing to do, because you do level up pretty quickly. Like I said, as you've seen, I was already a level 20, and I only played once. I only played the day that it dropped. I haven't had time to play it.
You probably wanted to wait until it got tougher to level up, and then use it.
Right. Yeah, I would use it when you get to level 70 or if you could push to level 75, hit it then, and then you should go ahead and be right there and be well ahead of the game. But even if you get to 50 and get to 75, that's still a bigger boost, and things like that. So
wait, is the battle? I thought the battle pass level was different than just your regular level.
Yeah, the premium battle pass activate. Yeah, it is different, but it's still yeah, that is different. My bad. Sorry, guys. So it is different, but there's at the bottom, the battle pass, it goes to 100. They got some pretty cool stuff in here. Some pretty cool gear of all different stuff. Like the last thing
that may not change the difficulty of leveling up to that point.
Yes, yeah, I was wrong about that. I'll take that back. But I am leveling up pretty quick. Like I said, I only played one day, and I'm already at level 20, and I played like for about 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? So it was really quick. So compared to when, me going through with my barbarian or even going through with the rogue. So so that could be another perk as well for having the premium battle pass. So but yeah, no, I definitely recommend this game. I do. I know it has its issues and its problems, but see, where I was fortunate is that I picked the barbarian. Everybody was picking necro, everybody was picking sorcerer. And so I was like, I want to be different. I don't want to pick the same thing, because I don't want to run around with other people playing we're all being necros with all our skeletons and shit running around. So I was like, I'm going to be a barbarian. I like to put my hands on it. I like to put my hands on people. And so, and then we'll whoop their ass, I should say, in that sense. So yeah, that was just me. So I went to barbarian. I love the barbarian, but I am seeing the power of that necro. Like, I mean, even though they nerfed the necro is still one shot and things. Like, it's nuts. It's nuts. I'm like, damn. I thought I was a level like 15, and I fought the butcher and almost killed him. Like, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. No way. But, I just didn't have enough health. If I had enough health, I would have beat him. And there was this big boss that was down there at the bottom where the sand is. I forgot what that area is called. Kovagrad or something like that. I forgot what it's called. But I was fighting a boss down there, because that's usually like the hardest level in Diablo, is down there where the sand is, where the desert is. And so I almost beat that. I just ran out of health. If I found like 1 or 2 healths, I could have beat that boss, and probably got me a a rare legendary or something like that or whatever. But yeah, no, it's all good, man. So it's all good. I mean, I understand how people being upset about it, but I do. Diablo is taking me from playing Street Fighter 6, and that means this game's got to be special for me to do that. So,
all right. Well, anyways, like I was talking about the old nostalgic things. We got way off topic because
off topic.
These damn big ass games always getting us off topic. Starfield, Diablo, Call of Duty. Off topic. Shout out to Tron TJ with another $2 super chat saying, let's squad up tonight, guys. Hey, I'm down with that. I'm actually down. Now that I see that gave me some confidence. Okay, Megan, that gave me some confidence that the game ain't just completely trying to kill my spirit. Because it was in danger levels of low. But anyways, keeping it moving. I'm going to wrap this up real quick. I personally disagreed with you because I felt like you cut it off too quick when you said 2002. I felt like it should have moved up to like 2010, 2013, maybe.
Okay.
Just because then we still got games that respected our time. I felt like a game like Last of Us respected our time. A game like the Uncharted's respected our time. Let me go with some Xbox games as well. Like I even thought the first Titanfall 1 and 2 both respected my time. Although Titanfall 1 was more or less like a just multiplayer. It was still like, do you want to get in or get out? You don't have to stay around too long if you don't want to. Rise, Son of Rome, fantastic. Respected the hell out of my time.
Loved it.
But like I'm starting to see some of these trends in some of my favorite games. Ubisoft, in particular, is really bad at it. They went from very straightforward games that were Ghost Recon to games that feel just never ending with Breakpoint and Wildlands. Some of the even the superhero games nowadays, like Miles Morales, I thought some of that stuff was just like, why am I doing this? Some of this stuff I feels like just prolongs the game a little bit longer than what it needs to be. And what I'd like to see come back in gaming and what could make this or the next generation as golden as those previous times is just to be willing to have a 10, 12-hour game. I liked those back in the day. I liked being able to pick up a game and beat it a couple times, maybe even different ways. It'd be cool to see an Elden Ring like kind of like different ways to beat, you know, like Yakuza and stuff like that, where there's different ways to beat it, but it only takes as long as like Max Payne. Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah,
because Max Payne is like what, like a 10-hour game.
Mm-hmm.
But to have to me to have a bunch of different dimensions in a 10-hour game just seems a little bit more fun than a 40-hour game that's just telling me, oh, run around and do this, and if you really want to complete it, then it's 80 hours, and I'm just like, goodness gracious. Certain games make sense like that. I feel like Diablo kind of doesn't respect my time. I'd say I was ready to say completely for the Lilith statue, but now that got course corrected, I feel like that's a little bit different. Oh man, but times have definitely changed. Things are a lot less simple, and games are taking a lot more time. But here's something I wanted to segue to, because we were talking about how people were complaining so much about, oh man, the 360 generation and the original Xbox and the PlayStation generation, there were just so many games. Now there's just now things are taking 6 years, 7 years to make a game and stuff like that. Okay, Mega, before or actually, let me get to these super chats first. Super chat from Sir X-Man says, and like and miss the old Rainbow Six. Oh, okay, yeah, the old Rainbow Six style of games. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I could see that. Those were nice. Those were real nice. But a lot of people were saying that there's not enough come out with games. And remember earlier I brought up the subscription service, right? So I'm wondering how you see it now. Or how do you think people should kind of look at it in your perception? When all these games are coming out, do you really think that there's going to be another big lull? Or do you think people are actually catching their stride and we're going to get more of like what we're getting here in 2023 with this onslaught of games where it has some of us looking at subscription services like, that might be the better route because I can't really keep up? You know, I was talking to you before the show and saying even a doctor would look at the lineup of games, and if he's if he's really big into gaming, really likes gaming, he might even look at this docket and be like, I don't know about all that. That's a lot of money.
No, I totally agree. 2023 and 2024 is going to be ridiculous. I don't know what 2025 is going to be, but I'm thinking that now gaming is about to get to rolling. The potential of, what I was saying about the golden era of gaming with the diversity of games, we could get back to that. Because, just look at what gaming was for, especially like if you go and you look at how PlayStation's year was last year. Now you go in and looking at how Xbox years looking, plus just gaming overall in 2023. There's no, we had a little bit of a lull period because if people weren't very interested in let's just say Forbidden West and then to Redfall, but right at that point, right after Redfall, then you had Jedi, Survivor. You had Hogwarts that was in there in between there.
Forgot all about God of War. You just left it out like it was nothing. That ain't Elden Ring.
I said what I said last year. What PlayStation had.
Oh, I'm sorry.
PlayStation. Yeah. I said the year that PlayStation had, and just the games that came out there last year. But it was more so because Xbox didn't have a really good showing exclusive wise last gen compared to like what we're seeing coming up here now. But I'm just saying, like, on top of with the third party, PlayStation's year is good, but it's not like it was last year when it came to like the gaming content. But it's still overall with the overall package of just gaming is just it's insane. Like there's no rest. Like PlayStation, if PlayStation gamers only cared about the exclusives, they've had some breaks. So they don't have Xbox gamers. They've had a break. And they had to start off strong with a high five rush. Then you got a break until Starfield. You know what I'm saying? If you look at, you start playing like, and I'm just talking about for exclusives. But if you are talking about just anything else, third party, second party, another console game, it ain't been no stopping. It has not stopped. Because you got Zelda, you got Diablo, you got you got Star Wars, you got Hogwarts, you got High Five Rush. If you liked Forspoken, if you liked Redfall, if you liked Final Fantasy 16, like it's crazy. And then you go into games that's like Exoprimal, like it's been a real cool surprise. Now I was already all in for it. It just looked like my type of game. But for like you enjoyed it. And then the real kick in is going to kick off next month. Because then you have the Maddens, the NBA, you know what I'm saying? And then you're going to have Armored Core. Then you're going to have Atlas, what is that? Something Atlas,
Atlas
the game
Fallen?
where Atlas Fallen. Then the Avium game from EA. Then you're going to get into September, and then that's when Starfield, Mortal Kombat. Then you're going to have Lies of P. There's going to be Cyberpunk. Then you're going to have NBA 2K, and then there's another game that's in there that I'm finna get, a Tales game, which is from an anime that's going to be representing an anime, and September is just crazy. Then you get into October, which is nuts. You got Spider-Man. You're going to have Assassin's Creed. There's going to be Forza. There's going to be I think Pikmin. Yeah, I said Spider-Man. There's going to be all different types of games coming in October, and then November is going to have games. I think Call of Duty is going to come out.
Don't forget Metal Gear Solid in October too.
Right, like it's nuts. And then December is going to have, and I still think that Pandora is going to get pushed back. I still think that, but if it doesn't, then you end off the year with a big Ubisoft game. I don't know how people is going to perceive it, but it's still going to be a big title. And then you're going to jump into 2024 because then there's going to be those games coming out. It's slated that Grand Theft Auto is going to come out next year. Then you're going to have Hellblade, and then you're going to have Avowed, and then you're going to have Tekken. Bro, like, and I didn't even mention Street Fighter 6. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you didn't even mention the Xbox games either. that
I
like
did.
Avowed and stuff like that. So
I just mentioned it. You're not even listening to me.
oh, my bad. No, I'm thinking ahead. I'm thinking ahead while you talking. My bad.
Yeah. No, I just mentioned like next year Hellblade and Avowed and
Oh,
then
my
just
bad.
whatever else is
Damn.
just coming out. Yeah, no, it's all good. So but that's what I'm saying. Like, and then there's going to be more secret stuff that we don't know. There's going to be some there's going to be games that we seen 2-3 years ago that people forgot about that's going to drop next year. And there's going to be games that's going to drop this year that people forgot about. Like, I mean, I just thought about the Naruto collection, or collectors or whatever it's going to be called. And then, that just, it's crazy. So yeah, subscriptions, when people try to come and try to tell me that subscriptions are not warranted or not needed, this is the time. And this is another thing too, going back to our first topic, is back to saying like, games now, they have to be bigger or visually just incredible, because the price tag of those games are 2-3 times more than what they were back in the era that I was talking about. Like, unless you was trying to buy an old Japanese game back then that was like $70. But we got games that comes out retail right out the gate standard $70. So these games, in order to make people feel like they're getting their money's worth, they have to make them bigger and better and all of that. So yeah, I think that there should be some kind of balance of having a game that's 10 hours compared to a game that's 150 to 200 hours. But if you got a game that's 10 hours long at $70, people are not going to feel like they got fleeced. You see what I'm saying? So the difference now is that you got to give more of the game, even if that's more fetch quests or if you're doing a live service with it or something to make people feel or garner like they got their money's worth. Like with Diablo, I got my money's worth. I mean, the last time I checked, I was 12 days in, so I know I did more than that. So it's like, I got my money's worth on that. But then, like with Street Fighter, which I'm going to give my time worth of Street Fighter. I mean, that's a game that's going to be played years to come. But then when you're looking at a game like, let's just say Lies of P, and Lies of P is only, let's say, 15 hours long, right? That's $70. Is that going to be worth it? That's going to be worth it for some gamers, but not all. So that's why when you look at the subscription service, it just makes sense. That's why I just signed up for Ubisoft Plus. I'm looking at all the games that they got lined up coming out just this year alone that I'm even interested in. Like, let's just talk about The Crew. I played the demo to The Crew Friday night, and I enjoyed it. The controls are a lot crisper. The graphics look good. It's something that I'll definitely play. But with all the slate of the games that I talked about that's coming out in September, it's not going to get bought. So if I got the subscription, it's going to get played eventually, and I don't have to worry about it, and I'll get a discount just like I would with Game Pass, or I'm signed to EA. So when I'm looking at August and I'm going to get Madden, I always get Madden. That's just what I do. I don't care if people don't like that or not. I like my football games. I'm just gonna get it. So I'm going to get Madden, and I do want to play the Immortals of Avium, but if it comes down to Madden or Immortals of Avium, I'm going to the old trusty. Madden's going to get my money. Immortals of Avium, not so much. But now since I got the subscription, I can play that. I can play. Well, I did buy Star Wars, so that's neither here nor there. But for whatever else that comes from EA, I can play that not only on my PC, but I can also play it on my Xbox. And then when you look at going on with Ubisoft, I'll probably wait. I don't know if I want to buy that or not, but I am going to play it, which is the Assassin's Creed game, because it's not the type of Assassin's Creed that I like, but I am going to play it because I want to follow the story. I got the subscription. I'm paying the money for it. So I don't know how that cheapens or makes people think that is a bad thing for going around and trying to save my money, because the one true thing about anybody who has money, they want to save money. Frugal people.
That's a
Yeah.
goddamn fact.
Frugal
I mean,
people,
like, stop. People really need to stop.
Money.
Everyone need to stop acting like that they living in Abu Dhabi with 10 cars and Grand Theft Auto money, and they just got shark cards out the yin yang. Like, bro, stop it. Like, every time somebody comes out and says they pretends that they got too much money, ends up being the one asking for it later.
Yeah. So about that they struggling or some shit on online asking for Patreons or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you guys. The super chats, all this stuff that goes towards the memberships. Yeah, we put it back into the channel to get things like I got. I got this camera from my wife, but my wife's seen the progress I was making. Money starting to come in a little bit, right? There's some change coming in. My wife's like, "It's your birthday, I'm gonna hook you up with a new camera." I was like, "Damn, let's go. My birthday is here on the 5th of August. Camera was on sale, hooked it up. I bought my own dock and stuff like that to do this in a new wireless keyboard. Thanks to you guys. Thanks to you guys out there. Now, I have the setup for my Steam Deck to be able to do content creating on the go. Thanks to you guys, I'm able to maybe afford to get myself and maybe Loke a game. Here in the near future that we can play together, maybe even make some content out of and have some fun. Thanks to you guys. We're using this. We're using subscription services. We're using gift cards. We're using coupons. We're using anything we can to save a goddamn dollar. And if you're not, shame on you. To be honest, that's not something to brag about. No, spending too much money is not something to brag about.
Right.
I mean, unless you literally, if you got so much money, then go on ahead and just give everybody some money while you at it. Anybody that complains, just give them a few bucks. Give them some money.
I would like to ask those people that, because I know I've seen some Xbox gamers at one particular time talk about that they don't like this, they don't like services, they don't like things like Game Pass because I guess because they like physical games and things like that or whatever. But for the stands that were going crazy and talking bad about services and things like that, I wonder how many of those people last year bought every game that came out. And then let's just kick this scenario in. Okay, remember Forspoken and Final Fantasy 16 was slated to come out last year, but they got delayed. There was a reason why PlayStation had those games delayed. Now, some reasons because they felt like the game wasn't looking polished enough or whatever or so forth. But a lot of reasons why games get maneuvered around like they do is because they look at it and say, well, damn, we got this game, that game, this game that are all first party. We're going to cannibalize ourselves because not everybody's going to buy every game this year. Only the smallest portion of the smallest percentage of the percent from the hardcore buys every first party exclusive that drops on either side. So for me, it's like, it's logical. It's more logical to sit there and have that money to invest into something else instead of me just trying to brag about, well, I own every last one of the games that I have in my library just for clout purposes. What the hell is that doing for my gas tank? What's that doing for my family? What's that doing for my house note? What's that doing for me if you know what I'm saying, if the homies want to do something, or if let's say my mom calls for something, she needs something, or anything like that, or for emergencies. Oh, well, what can I go back to? Oh, well, shit, every game that I got on all 900 games that I own on Xbox, that shit is mine. That ain't saving shit. So, bro, logically, it just doesn't make any sense. So, like, with PlayStation fans, or I should want to, but stands, get out of pocket talking about that you cheap and you this and that, say so to hell what? I know that I still got money in my account. Do you? And I know that your ass didn't buy every game that came out last year, day one, at $70 a pop.
Hell nah.
Stop frauding the public. That's the type of stuff that we have to get away from. And I think that that's another part that goes back to what I was saying originally, is that this gaming era is tainted by so many people want to be negative about every damn thing.
Everything
is bad. Every movie, we got shade tree directors, we got shade tree developers, we got shade tree gamers, we got shade tree every goddamn body. Everybody's always got to be something else. I seen somebody real quick, Ham. I was watching this video of this man, and I didn't even know that there were like plane brokers, like for like private jet brokers, right? This man said he worked 12 hours a day and he does all these meetings, and he's, you know what I'm saying? This man is pushing planes for 48 to 50 some million dollars per pop. He's just popping, he's just on the phones, in meetings. And I was like, I can't wait to read the comments for this man sitting here pushing all this money, being successful as he is. Damn sure straight, there was somebody in the comments that was like, well, you know, all those meetings that guy was doing was really unproductive. And he got cooked. But people was showing what he was doing. This man was still looked like he was in his family's house as a music player. Like, bro, why are you even worried about what this man is doing? If you should be over here being inspired. You know what I'm saying? To want to get to that. Why the hell are you over here talking about somebody else when you're not even in that damn profession? Anyway, that's just my whole point about that. Stop this shit. You know what I'm saying? Stop it.
It's crazy, K-Mega. But
Yeah,
I tell you what's even a little bit crazier as of lately, in my opinion. And before I get into that, I want to shout out Mr. Joanna Dark for the gifting 5 TSWS gaming memberships. So if you guys have the opportunity, hit the allow gifts button that should have popped up in your chat, and you may be able to get a free gift as a member to this channel from Mr. Joanna Dark. I see Apex Predator became a new member, and I went on ahead and added him to the list of members of TSWS. So thank you so much, Mr. Joanna Dark. But continuing on, what I wanted to now talk about was some interesting things that's been going on, and it kind of has to do with nostalgia. We've been on a nostalgia kind of kick for this episode today, which is pretty interesting. But the nostalgia kick that I got to throw on this time, the roundhouse that I'm going to give you straight from Chuck Norris himself, is, bro, these games, Call of Duty, Gears of War, this new 1,500 game service that you could either buy all out or purchase for the year. K-Mega, what is up with the new, it's funny saying new, what's up with the resurgence of classic games coming to whether it's console or PC? I mean, we could just say console, but I want to kind of bring the PC in as well, because emulation, big deal. Everborn and K-Asante and me, even Mr. Joanna Dark, I'm not sure if he has or not. He can speak for himself in the chat. But I know I've seen some people talking about playing some Tears of the Kingdom on their Steam decks and Aces Rogs, and stuff like that. So, I mean, emulation's a big deal. Dolphin emulator, people love that sucker. We all know that the Xbox and Series S and X, those could do emulation on them. We see the resurgence with PlayStation after saying we believe in generations. Now they have a back compat team. Where do you kind of see, how deep do you think down the rabbit hole are we going to go with nostalgia? Because I feel like the elephant in the room is and has always been licensing. And I feel like people can use that excuse for a long time, whether it's honest or not. I feel like some people use it out of honesty, like, yo, there ain't no way we can get a hold of this stuff. right? But then I
Right.
feel like some people use it as like a crutch. Like, we just can't do it. But then you see like a flip get switched and oh man, all the Call of Duties are on again. Oh man, all the Gears of War are on again. Oh
Right.
man, we got all these classic IPs over here all of a sudden. You know? And then they're talking about possibly for Sony bringing in like PlayStation 3 games, possibly to be downloaded. I don't know how honest that rumor was. But hey, I'm for that. Downloadable games straight to the PlayStation instead of streaming like PlayStation Now was. Like, bro, that's a big deal. Shout out to Drawn TJ. He says, Game Pass has saved me so much money. I can support you guys, and you deserve it. Have a you have a great channel. Thank you so much, Drawn TJ. You're the man, and you're all over the place. You're here. You're on. Yeah, you show up on K Mega Show, 108 Dragons, ILP. I mean, I see you everywhere. You and Dragonheart, Yobi, Hargeet, Shani. I mean, they need to have like a thing at the Game Awards every year for just like most influential person in the chat. Because you guys be working that chat, and you guys have some great stuff to say, and we absolutely appreciate reading off your comments because they're not filthy and dirty and inappropriate. Like I've been to some channels where I see some super chats, and I'm just like, bruh. Even on ILP sometimes I see some, but those are funny, right? Those are funny. The ones that I see sometimes on other people's channel where they dropping the N-bomb and all this, like, bruh, like I'm happy I ain't got to deal with that here. I'm happy you guys can keep it together in the chat and not have to bring that energy here because not everybody's here for that. But anyways, continuing on. K-Mega, what do you think about the resurgence in all these old classic games, and how far do you think it'll go with what I just kind of gave you with the whole licensing issues and whatnot that people have been using as excuses not to bring back old games?
It goes back to the beginning when I said it's the best era of gaming. These games stand the test of time. As much as I love Rise, as much as I love Quantum Break, as much as I love a Recore, and look, there's game, but were there games that'll last the test of time? Like I was saying, like a Kung Fu, like a Bayou Billy, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you got like Afterburner. Like, I mean that, you know, no.
You know what, K-Mega? I think I agree with you right there. For the love of, and I'm a hand the torch right back to you. But first of all, I want to hit what Dragonheart Yobi said in the chat because it's $5 super chat. Yobi with this $5 super chat saying peace, love, life, as he always does. Ham, keep up the fantastic work, my man. Seriously, I really appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much for chiming in. You know you don't gotta, but you do every time. And I appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much. But yes, K-Mega, I 100% agree with you, man. Imagine if the football license was still out for grabs. The basketball license was still out for grabs. The vehicles and Toyota not making a big fuss about cars, you know, having all these additions and, you know, being wrecked and stuff like that and being used for street racing. Like, imagine if all of that stuff didn't make the IP slow down. Yeah, you know, what if Manhunt wasn't so, you know, no, don't do that. You know, that bad game. Right. Bad game. You seen, we seen last year. Last year we were talking about this on GRG.
Yeah.
GTA coming out saying, we're not going there so much as before. Remember how they said, some of the jokes and stuff like that were cool then ain't so cool now. And you see that got people nervous because it's just like, yo, those people don't play the game now. Like, if they ain't playing the game now, then why are we trying to appease them? and you know that GTA make a hand over fist, but you know these companies, they're hungry. They create a new goal, and then they want to do that until they notice that goal is screwing up their profits.
Yep, that's it. And
But,
it just comes, it just comes hand in hand. But no, go ahead. I thought you was done, but go ahead.
No, I am. Go ahead.
Okay, but no, I was Joanna Dark was asking a question about the old NES Narc. I have not played the old NES Narc. I remember the PlayStation 2. I played the PlayStation Narc, but yeah, not the old school Narc. But I mean, I could take it back, talk about Russian Attack. But anyway, but I like that's just the thing. Like, I mean, a lot of games that even today that has that type of nostalgia, plus also still is reinventing itself to this day, is these games that's from the classic era, like Zelda, like you brought up Metal Gear. We're talking about, so people want to see games like I Don't Miss You return, things like that. Like when people saw that game from Capcom, everybody automatically, I'm pretty sure everybody who remembered that era thought that was going to be like a new I Don't Miss You or something, because it had that similar feel to it. But it wasn't. It's something else, and that's fine. But that's just what we're saying. Like a lot of games today, and that is not a discredit to them. There's a lot of good games. There's damn good, great games. But it just seems like to me that when you go for it, when you go back and look at those games, that nostalgia is just there, and it's just forever lasting. Like when you have games like Mario, that Mario and Mario Kart and those type of games that transfer from that time. I mean, we can talk about Tekken, we can talk about Street Fighter, these legacy titles that just go from generation to generation to generation. I don't know how many of those games that comes out in the new era will have that same type of sustainability like those old classics. And so like that's why people still want to go, because a lot of the younger youth haven't had a chance to experience them. So like when you see these new services like Antstream and then emulation, they can go back and they can play these games and even play games that they've never would experience, and games that will never ever come back again, like a Thrill Kill. Like that game got discontinued. It was so at that time out of pocket. Like Thrill Kill was absolutely, if anybody wants to go, never heard of Thrill Kill, go check it out. I do have it. I still have it on emulation. Matter of fact, I have a big old pack of like emulated games in storage that I had from my old emulated PlayStation, which unfortunately got broken from a Crazy X many years ago, but still, but I still kept those games like Akuji and all those other games like Gran Turismo, all that other stuff. But that, I mean, games just, I don't know, like that's what people do. And then like for the one thing that it's just kind of like old movies that's being remade now, and some of those movies hit, a lot of them don't because they're not written and done well. That seems to be that would be different with games because they already had a story. Like, I don't understand why PlayStation would not ever bring a Dark Cloud back, or like I brought up Legend of Lagoon or Legend of Legaia. Like, how the hell could you not bring Legend of Legaia or Legend of Lagoon back? I hope that they do. And instead it keeps bringing these remakes to Final Fantasy instead of going through the deep, going deep into that, into their box, like Warhawk. Like, I don't know if people, I loved Warhawk. That was one of my favorite games back then too, in the PlayStation 1 era. Like, I don't know, it's just people, they play, if they had a chance to play these games back then, and they experience them, they understand like, yo, I see the appeal of the old Contras or things like that. So I just, when you got games like COD, they had moments where people would look at it and it was like, damn, I forgot how fun this was. I forgot the times, even though the chat was awful and they would talk about your mama, say something racist, they would be just stupid. They're still like that now today. But just when you was playing with your friends, going through, kicking ass, and even if you just like to play the COD stories, they just hit, they impact. And it goes back to what you were saying earlier, Ham, about games not taking your time. Not to just taking your time like that. Like you get like that's what like Call of Duties and Halos and things like that. Those were like the peanut butter and jelly sandwich of gaming. Like, you got, man, damn, I only got 3 hours to play. Oh, I can play COD. I can play Halo. I can play Battlefield. I can play Titanfall. I can knock those out real fast, and then I can go to bed or go do what I got to do, and then just run back. Now today with these live services, you jump into a game, you got to stay on it. You know what I'm saying? Hell, you can't even sit there and go take a shit. You know what I'm saying? Without the game kicking you out, and you got to start all over. Or if the game is not booted up right, like you got to probably do a mission that you just got done messing with. You know what I'm saying? So I do enjoy live services, but I do feel that, like you were saying earlier, that these type of games, we need that same type of like, hey, let's get this game. I want to play this game for a little bit, put it down, and then just get back to doing whatever I got to do. If we have too many live service games where we don't have that same impact, where games just take our time or we just got to stick with one game, I think gaming's going to suffer from that. I really do. I think gaming overall is going to suffer with that, and then that will just bring more gamers to start demanding for those old classic games. I mean, we're already seeing it now. It will get worse if these live service games become the actual. They're normal, but I mean, like if they just take over to where we don't get those same experiences that we used to. That's just my opinion. I don't know. I'm going to read what the chat says, but what do you think?
I mean, I agree. I think it'd be
Okay.
fantastic to get back to some of that for sure. But I see Drawn TJ with another $2 super chat saying you guys are helping me get through my work day. So that's
Good deal.
yeah, that's always good to hear. You work while we work, I guess, and I'm just happy that you get to enjoy what we're out here talking about today. K-Mega, what were you going to continue on? You said you had some stuff to say from the chat.
Oh, I said I was going to read from the chat, but I seen that Joanna Dark said Thrill Kill became the Wu-Tang game. It did, but Thrill Kill was not. Yeah, Thrill Kill was way on another level. I want to see if I could play that game. I could play it because I got it on emulator, but if I could play it without getting hit, I'll see if I can try to show some gameplay of that crazy ass wacky game. And then Jeremy Brown's clowning me, says Lagoon or Dragoon. Dragoon. That's what I said. Legend of Legaia and Legend of Dragoon. But yeah, that's my fault. If I said Lagoon, that was my fault. But I should have said Dragoon. But yeah. And then I'm seeing somebody else says, I loved my Nation Racer. Oh, wow. But yeah, that's it.
Gotcha. All right, cool. Well, yeah. For me, I'm really excited. I'm hoping this continues, but I'm wondering how much it will continue because it's just like, what all games are you kind of tapping into? It was kind of interesting hearing about. I don't know if you've heard anything about this, but like there's been a lot of teasing around like Capcom with like Street Fighter and stuff like that. Do you see anything with Street Fighter coming to Game Pass at all? Do you, whether it's 6 itself or like old versions coming back, because it's kind of like maybe some publishers are looking at the life that their servers could have if they turn certain things back on and are proud about it.
Oh yeah. No question. I mean, the old Street Fighter games, they're still available. But like the one particular Street Fighter game that I would like to see have a return. I mean, you can still be able to. I think you can find a match on it. I'm really not sure. I haven't tried to play online in a minute. But that's Street Fighter Cross Tekken. I mean, now you can't buy the game anymore. But if they could try to work to get a license, that would be great. Another game that a lot of people was asking for was Marvel vs. Capcom 2. That would be that would rake. I mean, all Capcom really has to do is just do a remake. I mean, not remake, but a remaster version. Work it out with Disney and get them servers cut back on and watch the money pile. You know what I'm saying? I think they could even charge that game $50 to $70 and people will buy that shit and will buy it and eat it up. I mean, that's labeled as one of the best fighters ever made. And even though like a lot of people is broken and this and that, it wouldn't matter. That game is so beloved. I think that they could go in there and they could charge if they were on the cool and say, look, we're doing a remaster, we're charging $50. That game is going to rake. Now, if they do a remaster and do the way that they do it with $70, 100 for whatever special edition, something like that, yeah, that still is going to rake. I'm going back to thinking about some other titles. I would like to see Xbox see if they could try to work with Konami and bring back 99 Nights. I think that would be really cool. With what's going on with Activision, I mean, there's games like Blur. There's you could try to make a Pitfall game that's competing against Nathan Drake.
John TJ saying don't forget about True Crime and
I was just going to say that.
Star, Fantasy Star Universe.
Right. Yeah. So there is so many. I mean, the Transformers games, the Marvel Alliance games, the X-Men, the X-Men Apocalypse games, because they had the same type of games. Look at that, Mercenaries. Oh, what is that? Oh, that's Reckless.
Yeah,
it's backwards. So yeah, is that Reckless?
This game right here is Reckless. Yes.
Oh, I never played that. I never played that.
Yes. Whatchamacallit, Rain G4 in the chat said Reckless was a cool game, and I just thought
I never played
Reckless. It out right
there.
Reckless, the Yakuza missions.
Oh wow. Prototype. I mean, that I've heard quite a few people say it. I've mentioned that before, but I've seen a lot of people mention Prototype. The Spider-Man games. Don made a really, really crazy point on Devin the Gamer, and it made a lot of sense. But yeah, Altered Beast is Sega though. But I guess we're just talking about everything, not just Activision. But
Sega's been on Game Pass quite a bit. I don't think they would even. I don't think they'd think too hard if they could throw something on the Game Pass that's old that could just make them money. Just kind of just sit it over there and let it make money. But I'm just wondering, what would that be? Like Altered Beast, sure, but I feel like I
don't think Altered Beast would make that money though.
No,
nostalgia, but yeah.
No, it'd be totally nostalgia. But I'm trying to think of something from Sega that would be like something that would generate and you could just leave there. Kind of like what the Call of Duties are doing, or something like that. I mean, those stores.
The older Fantasy Stars would definitely be one.
There you go. Yeah, just like John TJ just said.
Oh, did John TJ say that? I went looking.
Yeah. He said. He said Fantasy Star Universe. So
yeah. The older Fantasy Stars would definitely work. Man, a game that I would love to see a remake to. I know that studio is gone, but man, I would love to see a remake of Split Second. I think that game would be perfect right now. There's not a racer like that, and that just I think that would just be fun. Another game.
Just blowing stuff up before people get to them and stuff like that, and having stuff roll into them.
Yeah. Have you played it?
Yeah, I have the digital game on Xbox because the whole backwards compatibility thing, and then I also have the hard copy for PS3.
So it's all games open. One game I know that would make money. There's multiple games that would make money, but these games right here, surefire hits making dollars. The NBA Streets. Def Jam Fight for Vendetta, Def Jam Fight for New York. I know that you can play them backwards compatible, but I still feel if you can open up all of the SSX games, that would make money. Power Stone would make money.
Rangy Force says Mercenaries. What'd you think about that?
Because I brought up Mercenaries because I thought that's what that was, but it was backwards, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
I think it'd be interesting if they made new contracts and stuff like that out of that game.
Right. Yeah, I could see that.
It's like Hitman, but more explosive.
Right. There's a lot of classics out there, man.
Skies of Arcadia.
Okay, I can see that.
The Club.
Oh wow, The Club. I would rather The Club would be cool, but I think oh my goodness, Midnight Club would hit if they.
You know what they need to do?
What?
This would shut it down really quick, and I think they'd be making hand over fist. They need to either make some sort of software to bring the compatibility forward for it, or they flat out need to make new axes and bring back. You don't know where I'm going with this?
No, because you cut out. I was trying to hear what you was going to say.
No. I stopped right there. And bring back what? What game do you play with an axe?
I mean, there's a lot of games you play with an axe.
Guitar.
Golden Axe?
Hero. Guitar.
Who?
Hero. Guitar. Hero.
Oh, you was cutting out a little bit, so I didn't hear everything you were saying. Okay.
I'm saying bring back Guitar Hero and make new.
Brought that up quite a bit. Yeah.
Make new dongles and new axes for that, and possibly make it available to use older axes if you can make that software possible. But if you can't, I don't even think you really have to, because I think people are running to the store to buy these guitars anyways. Every time I go into an old school place, there's always that one or two customers that walk in. And I remember when I worked at Gamers, there's always somebody that comes in saying, "Yo, you got some Guitar Hero guitars? Or do you have the Guitar Hero game with guitars? Or do you have Rock Band? Do you have Rock Band with guitars?" There's people still walking in every day asking for this stuff. And it's just like, yo.
Yep.
Talk about a game that would make hand over fist immediately.
Yes.
It is Guitar Hero.
Yeah. There's no question. I mean, my son, he loved it. I played it. I played DJ Hero more, and then Lips more than I did Guitar Hero.
You love talking about Lips.
Huh? Oh yeah, no, Lips. Yeah, like bro, man, you bring that back, bro. I'm telling you, if they bring that back, I'm streaming. Me and the wife and the crew, we streaming. We streaming again. We getting it. Yeah. So, there's just so many possibilities. That's what I'm saying. Like with these older games, there's so many classic titles that could be brought back, and then you could put some online to them, and they would hit. Like
Voidlock said Jet Moto. Could you imagine a multiplayer Jet Moto game?
I lose my damn mind, man. I would love it.
Remember the old Mountain Dew jackets that you wore?
Yes.
And you're sitting there floating on that bike, and man, it took me so long to realize
1, 2, and 3. I love Jet Moto so much, man.
When I first played, it took me so long to realize when I jumped off of one of the ramps, you have to hold circle or something like that for the electricity to come grab you to help you into the turn to finish your turn. So forever I thought my game was broken, because I'd jump off of the cliff and be like, why does everybody get to the next ramp but I can't?
You can't.
And obviously I put that together, and I was just like, wow, that's insane how they put a bike and then kind of chain you to something once you ask for it. Once you like hit the ramp and you're close enough to be conducted or whatever, and then it pulls you into the next man. And some of the ways they made those maps, man, it was crazy. Some of those races, some of those turns were
really
insane.
good maps. Really good maps. That's why, like, I'm kind of excited about Need for Speed bringing back older classics. I mean, one of my favorite Need for Speeds was the first Hot Pursuit. Or, well, no, was it Hot Pursuit or Hot Pursuit 2? Well, I loved all the Hot Pursuits, but I'm thinking it was the one where you was in Seattle, and then there was the one where you was like.
Was the El Nino in there?
Yes.
I think that's one.
Okay, so yeah.
Unless they brought them in multiple. But I think that's just one.
Well, no, I think, but yeah, no, and then my car choice was the Ford was the Ford oh my god, with the Ford GT, bro. Like they were just I hope that they do that. Like, I mean, there's a lot of games that I feel that should get some makeup, come back remastered, and then there you go. I think Twisted Metal Black. Before you do, you make a new Twisted Metal Black remastered, bruh. Man, that would make me buy a PlayStation 5. Because if that ain't coming to PC, in within 6 months, it's gonna make me risk it all and give me a PlayStation 5. No doubt. If they did a remake to Twisted Metal Black, say no more. Sony got. But they're not. So they're gonna probably bring some cute, adorable, funny shit, and I'm gonna be just like, wow. But I hope not. But yeah, no, there's just so much nostalgia. Like, I mean, there's so many great games that they could just bring back, put some online to it. I mean, and my mind is just racing trying to think of just games, and I'm look at some of the chat. Of course, Bloody Roar would be Bloody. They said that they're thinking about going to try to work with somebody to do Bloody Roar. Oh yeah, Burnout. See, Ham, I think that was you that I was talking about Burnout, right? Was it was you? It was somebody else. It was this past week that I was talking with somebody about Burnout. I thought it was you.
I feel like it was Sir X-Man. I feel like that was Sir X-Man.
No, I feel like Sir X-Man. It was Sir X-Man. Well, it was Sir X-Man. It was someone else. It could have been Sir X-Man, but I don't remember. But the old Burnouts, they were so damn dope. And the one crazy thing was so dope about them was the insurance. Blow. Man, that was the funniest thing. Hell with the races. I wanna rack up the insurance prices, man. I just want to slam that car right into a diesel, a tanker, and just light it up. Let's see what kind of damage I can do. Now, I don't know, in today's climate, would a game like that be available, because there's people that likes to do wild stuff, but that game was so fun. It was one of those games that you just kind of, a getaway game, just like your mind is you just want to focus on this and just have fun doing it. And then there's not any, overly competitive stuff, even though you could play against friends, but it still was just so damn fun. I love Burnout 1 through Revenge. They were so good. And then they had to try to turn it into an open world. I don't know. I was never really the biggest fan of Paradise, but still, yeah, Burnout would be great to make a resurgence.
Absolutely. And then Drawn TJ says in the chat, $2 super chat. Xbox now owns Blur and Vigilante. Didn't even think about Vigilante 8.
Didn't even think about Vigilante 8.
Oh
my God, that's Activision? I forgot about
back
that.
Back when I was a kid, I called it the bus game. I called it the bus game because they had the bus on the front cover, and in my opinion, I was just like, man, there ain't no business having that in the game, because this thing is tough. And I ended up not. I thought when I first seen that, I was like, I'm gonna be the bus. I mean, then I ended up not being that. I ended up being something else, because the characters in that game were pretty dope. They were pretty dope. They weren't it wasn't as good as Twisted Metal, but I was like, man, this is a pretty solid knockoff right here.
Right. It was a really good knockoff.
In my opinion, it was like the knockoff comparing to like Immortals Phoenix Rising to like Zelda. Like it ain't Zelda. Right, but it's like dope. This is pretty damn fun right here.
The environment with the tornadoes and all that stuff. Yeah, man. It was Vigilante 8 was fire. That was real fire. I played that on the Dreamcast. That was the first time I played it. It was on the Dreamcast.
Man, that was dope race. That was dope.
If Xbox got that, they need to bring. That's a must because that's the type of game right there. Like, I mean, if you're bringing a resurgence of because I know the makers of Warhammer is making a Twisted Metal like type game. If we're gonna get back into that era, that time frame of combat cars. Bro, man, Xbox, get to it. Get a staff together and get their ass to cooking because, we need that. We need that. So,
I feel that. I 100% feel that. But we need to move on to the next topic because nostalgia got it. Okay. Yeah. Nostalgia has got us in prison right now. But the next thing I wanted to get to, because we only have maybe let me check real quick on the docket what we got going on. We got 2 more things to touch on before we get up out of here. So so one of them being this right here. I'm gonna put it up on the screen so everybody can see it. The PS5 could be getting a limited time price cut according to reports. This was published by Game Rant. Trying to see who the person that made the article was. Truman 2 or something like that. Okay, I don't know. I like to give credit to the person that wrote the article because I'm sitting here reading it on stream and whatnot, using their information. So might as well. But they said according to a well-known leaker, the PlayStation 5 console could get a temporary price cut that gamers might want to take advantage of. Sony PlayStation's console could possibly get a temporary price cut for a limited time. The PS5 console has been through a rather interesting history ever since the launch in 2020, containing a prolific library of games that make it a hot commodity for gamers. It also was a hard-to-obtain console due to a variety of factors, with COVID-19 pandemic also whatever. In recent years, and I ain't doing it right now.
Let you be country. Let you be country.
Let me be country, goddamn. But anyways, in the recent years, the stock and prices of the PS5 console have been stabilized, though it has now been a bit higher than what it initially sold for in some regions. While the price of the console has increased, it hasn't hurt the demand or sales of the PS5 too much, according to reports from Sony in 2022. This has been reflected in the sales of the console itself, whereas sold 38 million units by the end of April 2023, which was one of the console's best years on the market, according to Sony. The company was looking to sell more consoles this year as well, and the report price cut could help move the needle. Excuse me. This report comes from a reliable data miner known as Bill Kuhn, who has had an accurate track record regarding the early release information for PlayStation games, which include the monthly PlayStation Plus titles. This prolific leaker has claimed that a recent promotional campaign will see temporary discounts on the PlayStation 5 after being applied in Spain, Portugal, and France. This discount will remain, this discount will be coming to Germany, the UK, and the United States, according to Bill Kuhn. So that's pretty much the gist of it.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so, so what do you think about the price cuts? Do you think they're just going to go right back down to 500 where they were? But like, I'm wondering that because that would mean they would price cut the United States, which hasn't moved. So what would they do? Like bring everything down $25. So it's 525 everywhere else and 575 here? No. What do you think, K Mega?
Yeah, I think that it'll be probably around. I think they'll do probably a $50 price cut, make it around $500. I
But it
mean, you
says it's
might can
coming to
find a really
America
good deal to
too.
get it
It's
to.
500 here.
Say that again, huh?
But they said it's coming to America. They're saying it's coming to America too, which it's already only 500 here. We didn't get a
No,
price raise, remember?
I thought it was 550.
I don't think in America the price raised for PlayStation
Oh,
5.
I thought it did. Okay, well, okay. So if it didn't raise out here, then you're looking at it like maybe about 480, 450. Which that's a good deal.
I'll double check
Um,
it.
so I don't know. You cutting out, so I can't. I don't know what's
No,
going
no,
on.
I just
So
said I'll double check it.
okay. All right.
Continue.
So yeah, but no, I think it is what it is. They're trying to hit their numbers. You know what I'm saying? They've got these projections, and so they're trying to hit it. I mean, it's not it's simple. And then they'll probably get to Black Friday and they'll drop it again. I think they want to probably get rid of as many stock as they can because I think that the rumors about them having a new console is a pro version is where they announced that is true, and so they want to try to get rid of as many original PlayStation 4s that they got available before the next new stock of maybe after they announce the Pro is going to jump out. And so you got PlayStations that PlayStation 5s that's at like 450. That's a good deal. And then by the time you get to maybe Black Friday, they might even go lower. I think that would be a good look if it's not 550 here in the United States, then it'll definitely be 500. But if it's 450 is a really good. Or it would be 450, 475. I don't know how long is it going to last. I think you just said how long did you say it was going to last for what, about a month, a couple of weeks?
See, I don't know right off the top of my head. I mean, I don't think I even put a specific time.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
that.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah, I think because right now they want to also.
Yeah. Right here it says there is no word on when these discounts will be coming. So.
Okay. All right. So I think when they announce it, I think when the rumors about the new the Pro version and the Slim version comes out, I think that's when they'll drop the they'll do a discount because of course that's going to be a lot of buzz for PlayStation. And then it's going to be pretty interesting about their price points. So
the price points are shown right here. It says Germany is going to get a $75 reduction, so it's going to be from 550 to from 550 to 475. Yes, okay. And then United States is getting a $50 price reduction, bringing it down to 449, where it is currently at 499. Yes, 500. Okay. 550 with the Ragnarok thing or whatnot. I looked it up.
Okay, so that's what I was seeing was the bundles. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. No, and I think that's going to kind of be their pricing when they announce it, and then when it gets to Black Friday, I think they'll hit that. They'll probably raise it up one more time until it gets to that point to when they release these new consoles. And then the PlayStation 5 will get discounted to the actual prices of what they're going to be when they do these discounts. So if you want to wait until next year to get a PlayStation 5 for $450, I'm assuming the Slim is going to probably be $350, $400.
Man, if the Slim is $350, that's a good deal, man.
That's a good deal. I think they want to make sure that they have a because I mean they could have a $400 because of course that I'm pretty sure that we're never going to see the discless PlayStation 5 because that was the one I wanted, was the one without a disc, because I don't have but only one PlayStation game that has a disc. PlayStation 4 game. All the rest of my games are digital. So I was like, well, I just want the digital box, but it was impossible to find. Um, so we'll see we'll see how, but the pricing is going to be really important. I mean, the pro thing is what's going to have my attention. You know what I'm saying? Is it going to be 600? Is it going to be, is it going to be more? The rumors of all that other stuff, I don't know, but I mean, but if you can catch a PlayStation 5 for 450, and maybe even get a bargain somewhere to where they might be trying to, you get a discount and get it for like a rebate or something, where you get it for 400. Yeah, there's no question that you need to pull the trigger on that. But I think once they do this announcement, I think that's when we'll see the actual price drop of the PlayStation, because like I said, there'll be some good buzz.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that they're talking about a price reduction on their console. If they did this, I'd wonder when they would, because we already know that Spider-Man 2 is coming out in October. So it's
Right.
just like, are you going to do it around that time period? Because that seems a little weird, right?
No, they would do it.
That'd be like
they
a
would
kind
do
of
it
a cannibalized situation,
Right. I think next month or September. Next month, what is that? What is that? Out in Europe, the game award, the game expo out there in Europe. I forget the name of it right now. It usually happens in August, or the Tokyo Game Show. I think that's when they'll announce it. They'll announce it next month in August or in September, around that time. Yeah, because October, no, they're going to maximize every dollar. That shit's going to, because then they got to go into Black Friday as well, and then there'll be discounts. So, because once if the rumors are true that they're going to announce that, they're going to announce other versions of the PlayStation 5, then really in all honesty, they have to discount the PlayStation 5. So the regular the PlayStation 5, because if they did it, think about it, when they introduced the PlayStation Slim and the PlayStation Pro, that was around the same time where I'm kind of thinking that they're going to announce these new consoles at August or September, and then they're going to but they released the Pro, they released the Slim, I think that same month, and then they released the Pro the next month after that. And then they discounted the PlayStation 4, the regular, just the OG PlayStation 4 during that Black Friday. So I think that they might do the same thing. I don't know if they might hold on to it, but if they're going to announce it, they might release that stuff this year. But I would, all in all, just get your money ready if you want to get a PlayStation 5 at a good discount. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, that gets my ears perked up. If the price is right, I might jump on it.
Hey, man, PlayStation, if you're talking discounts, you're talking my language.
You're talking my language.
And this ain't, obviously I don't really need a console now, but I mean, anything, like, it doesn't matter if it's PlayStation giving discounts, Xbox giving discounts, Nintendo giving discounts. I am here for
the
money saving aspect at all costs. Like, I'm trying to save that dollar, because everything about doing what me and Kate Mega do, trying to do the stream and stuff, trying to keep up with what's going on. I mean, part of keeping up with it costs money. You know what I mean? So I mean, we just doing what we can. But anyways, let's hit this last topic before we get that up out of here. The big deal of like the last week has been the Game Pass, levels they've got announced, and on September 14th, Xbox Live Gold will cease to exist. Yes, after Starfield goes out, which I think is kind of interesting that they put it after Starfield. I thought they would maybe put it before Starfield, and just to kind of get things kind of shuffling around, maybe get some people to want to switch when they notice that things changed. you know. But I guess they're okay with. I'm sorry, what's that?
No, you saying after Starfield? I thought I read September 1st is when they're going to do it.
Oh, you're right. Let me read this whole statement so I can get my own, so I can collect the thoughts properly. It says on September 14th, Xbox Live Gold members will automatically become Game Pass Core members with no charge in pricing and have immediate access to a new library of over 25 high quality games. Member deals and discounts will also be part of Xbox Game Pass Core. Games with Gold will come to end on September 1st. So it's games with Gold that will come to end on September 1st. Okay? And I believe, I mean, I'm going to look into this a little bit further so I know for sure, but I'm pretty sure that all the games that you got through Games with Gold just become yours.
Yeah. They're yours.
So like Games with Gold is over. Now it's just owned games.
Right.
I'd assume that's the way that they're going to put it. Because as of right now, there's a tab called Games with Gold. And you can see all the games that you got with Games with Gold.
Right.
So I'm assuming that tab will no longer exist. And here are the list of the different plans. I'm sure a lot of you out there know, but in case you're here for the first time listening, I want to let you know. Core is at $9.99 for, and it comes with online console multiplayer catalog of over 25 quality games, as I just said, member deals. But the next one right after it, which is the one that I have an issue with, is the console one at $10.99 a month, just $1 more. It says hundreds of high quality games on console, new games on day one, member deals as well. Then the PC one is $10, so $1 down from the second tier, which is because it's on a totally different system that you're playing it on. Hundreds of high quality games on PC. New games on day one, which is interesting, but pretty dope, especially for that specific tier. And then members deals and discounts and EA Play membership, which is also a crazy good deal for that tier of the service. And then last but not least, Ultimate, which is the one I rock with, and the first thing that I tell people about when they ask me about Game Pass and stuff like that. It says hundreds of high quality games on console and PC and cloud, new games on day one, member deals, discounts and perks, online console multiplayer, and EA Play membership. So I'm actually going to go first on this one and just get it knocked out. Let you then go second. So first one with the Core, I had an issue with it at first because I thought it was going to be $120 a year. Come to find out, it's still $60. That flipped my whole opinion upside down. Now I think Core is a damn good deal.
Okay.
It's pretty. Okay. It's pretty much PlayStation Plus Essential.
Mm-hmm.
It's exactly what it is. The Core one is where I have my issue because if you look at the the console one is where I have my issue.
Okay.
If you look, it's in between Core and PC. On the one side of Core, you have the online multiplayer. Sure, you got the 25 games, which is less than console, and you got the membership and discounts. So the only thing difference between Core and console is less game or more games, but no multiplayer, which I find weird in this day and age when so many more games are becoming multiplayer. So, I mean, I just kind of have a little bit of an issue with that. And if somebody were to come and ask me, yo, what do you recommend out of this list? Most of the people that I hear their recommendations, I mean, usually I want to hop in a game and play with them, show them around.
Right.
Do some stuff. The second option for $10.99, you're not able to do that. You can sell it to them. They could, want to get it just to play multiplayer games. And keep in mind, new games day one, which is a big deal. Which that is a very big deal. So you'll get to play Starfield day one if you have the console version. But what's wild to me is if you go from that to like Forza, you won't be able to play with your friend. You know what I mean? Halo or Halo campaign. I'm not sure if on the campaign you can play with your friend because that part of Halo is paid. The free to play part, sure. But I'm not sure if you can play campaign together. Gears of War as well. Stuff like that. So that's where I'm just like I'm a little confused. I'm surprised the console one isn't the core. And the core isn't just cheap whatever to get you just on multiplayer. That's what I'm surprised about. I thought the console one would have online, like I'd expect it to, at least to have online multiplayer. And I mean, whether it has hundreds of quality or hundreds or whatever, I think, you know, I just don't like the way it's put together, I guess. Just all in all. I mean, I could sit here and break it down, but that'd take like 15 minutes. I'm not going to do it. But like, I'm just saying, I just, like, between those two, I mean, I think there should never be a tier without internet. Like, it's just too late in the game, in my opinion, for that. Like, internet and having the ability to connect to others is just too valuable to me. Okay. And plus, this is supposed to be a step up from the last. It just seems like a sidestep. Or not really a step at all. It's just like, just a whole different, I mean, it is that. It's a whole different approach. What do you think?
Okay, well, I can understand that the console one is confusing. I mean, it does come off very confusing, but you will be able to be online. But it's just the multiplayer aspect of it. I don't think that I mean, you won't be able to play with somebody online, but the way games are online, you'll get to play online games. I mean, hell, Starfield is going to require you to be online, so you will play that game. But if you made the 1099 the core, well, most people will be on the core. Will be on the console version than the ultimate version, because I mean, just look at it from the ultimate. From when you look, okay, so you have access from games day one, you get the membership, and you get hundreds of games, right? Ultimate, what's the extra perk? You get EA Play membership, and you can play the game on the cloud. So they're making Ultimate more attractive overall for people who wants to play online, or for the people who doesn't care about games like that. Like my homeboy, he wants to play online, but he only plays one or two games. That's it. And that's usually the one game that he mostly plays all the time is ESO. So the core is what's going to be for him. He might go for another $2 to go ahead and jump to the console, because he's like, well, what are these other games that are going to be here? But he most likely will read that part where it's like, well, if I can't play online, then I'll just stick with the core. He's not going to see the reason for getting the ultimate, because he's not going to play all those other games, even though that there's a lot of opportunities in that game. Well, I mean, a lot of opportunities in that in ultimate, but it's just for him is like, this is all I want to play. So, and maybe I'll dabble here, dabble there. So it would only be core or console at the max for him. So I don't know. And what I'm thinking is that if you, and so as you said, like core, the console is very confusing, because if you're paying $10.99, then you should be able to have online multiplayer. So they need to reword that, because like I was like, I was agreeing with you that it was weird, but I see the benefits to every tier, because if you just from somebody looking at it from outside that's not a gamer, they see the console version, and if you see the ultimate version, and if, let's say, the console version was the absolute same, you're going to say, well, shit, I'm saving $6, $7. So I'm gonna get the console version. Everything else is the same. For us, Ultimate is what we're going to get anyway, because we play on everything. And PC, I don't understand why people even still has that argument about still playing games online. I mean, still paying for online service when this has been going on forever. You see what I'm saying? So like, PC is just a different entity. You know what I'm saying? PC is just a different entity, and it's not going to change unless the public wants that change of like, well, you know what? PC gamers don't pay internet. Why do we? But nobody. I mean, people have said that, but people keep continuing to spend the money on the multiplayer on PlayStation and Xbox, and now on Nintendo. So it's like. So it's like I don't see that changing, because I think the casual market is just like, well, whatever. It's just no different than anything else. And then people lose perspective or time. You know how like when you put money into some kind of prescription, I was going to say prescription, subscription or something like that, and then you've completely forgot about it. You may not have watched something from Funimation or whatever, and then next thing you know, and then maybe about a year or two later, you get a notice that said that it got dropped, or that, you need a new passcode, or, that you just witnesses say, where does $9.99 or this $12.99 come from? Oh, I remember I got that, damn. And so then you'll either cancel or you'll start watching Funimation again. So, I mean, that's just kind of like how I just look at it with console gamers when it comes to online play. They don't look at it as detailed as what the hardcore does. And so I don't think that's ever going to change. And then, long story short, if you feel slighted, then get you a PC. Build you a PC and just game primarily over there. I mean, and just, what I'm saying, the library is not going to be as big as it is on Ultimate Game Pass on console, but you'll still have a pretty good library. I think it's definitely over 100 games. It might be around maybe 150, maybe close to 200 maybe, but it's not as many as Ultimate, where it's over 400. So, yeah, other than the console version, which I do find it to be a little bit weird, but for people who just want to play online, that just want to play want to have single player experiences, I think that's the one that they're trying to reach to. I think that will probably get changed up in the future. They'll reword it, or they'll probably integrate console with core, and that will just be $10.99, or they'll get rid of the console and then just have core, and then they'll add, like what I've heard people say, which I think that would probably be really, really, really cool by them, is having like a $5.99 or I should say a $4.99 just online mode.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's really all I'm saying. And I'm asking for that, and then maybe change the console one with internet to what Sir X Man's currently saying in the chat. $5 super chat from Sir X Man saying console should be $13 to $14 with online, no EA access or PC. That would have been perfect. That would have been the perfect setup, and keep silver for the ones who only play single player. I don't know about the silver part.
No, but silver, no.
I don't know about the silver part, but I do agree. Like, as I said prior, all tiers should have multiplayer. Whether that should be $11, $12, $13, $14. I don't care. But I just think they all should have that. And I'd go as far. This sounds like I'm turning the deal bad. But I would go as far as saying no new games day one. but all other games are playable for the 11 or 12 or 13.99 one. All the games except, but like have it like EA where you can't play it for a year. Like that's when the game is no longer new anymore. It's after a year, so it makes you sweat, and you see people playing Starfield day one.
Right. Yeah,
and you're just like, right. Do I want to pay $70 on Starfield, or do I want to pay $3 more this month for the next couple months? Play the hell out of Starfield and then go back down, or maybe stay here because Forza just came out, and Forza 7's super old at this point.
Yeah.
So like,
no, I agree with that.
I think that would be a dope idea. Do you have anything else you need to say on this topic?
No, not really. I just think that, like, the console version is kind of it's worded so weird because it's pretty.
It's all over the place.
It's going to have online because most single player games now are online. So they just be due for patches and things like that. So that is just, the wording is weird, but I understand why they have this $11 tier for the people who don't necessarily want, a whole bunch of other games when they don't play multiplayer games. I get that, the tier, but it's just the fact that, when you make it seem like, well, they don't have online multiplayer when you're talking about like would Gears not be included? You see
that's weird, right?
That's
half the game. Halo, that's half the game.
That's half the game. Well, there's people that only just play the single player. Just like with Call of Duty, they only just play the single player. So I get that, but you need to address that better, because that just leaves so much room for a person to complain when all you had to do was just word that better. I get it. The wording is there, but it still opens up a lot of questions. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just, just kind of refix that, give a better understanding for that, and then just keep it moving. I think overall everything else is fine. I would like to see it just an online only for $4.99, just for those people who just can't afford or just, they just can't afford that. Like, I think
they
everybody
just literally
want to
keep playing. They just literally want to keep playing that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. They're that old ass game that's backwards compatible on the Xbox. They want to keep playing.
Yeah.
Well, Fortnite you can play because it's free. Like you can play the free. You can play the free to play games online, like Rocket League, Fortnite, Apex Legends. You just can't play.
What I'm saying. For $4.99, that'd be great for them. But the $10.99.
No, I'm saying right now you can. Right now you don't even need. You don't need Xbox Live to play Rocket League or any of this other stuff.
They changed that back. They changed that a while back. Okay,
right.
That's right.
But we're saying like, yo, you can't even play Gears, and that's a first party game. You can't play that.
Right. That's weird. That's weird how they worded that. Yeah, it's very
or to
weird.
Drop a new game to say hundreds of high quality games, new games day one on Game Pass. Exo Primal can't play it.
Can't play it.
Isn't that something?
Can't play
it. Like when they go to drop Diablo, can't play.
Can't play.
To me, it's just like, bro, it's just whatever. But anyways, I'm sure we'll be back on this topic sometime later. But as of right now, we need to get up out of here. It's been about 3 hours almost. And although
I've been in this crate tripping out, I'm sure. No, he's probably asleep.
Yeah, you know his feet upside down. He chilling. He got that going on right now. He kicking it.
His big ass is gonna go outside. There we go. Get some sun.
He gonna take 2 steps outside and be like, "That's too damn hot."
It's too hot, and go turn right back. Nope, I'm leaving the door closed. You stay out there for about 15 minutes. Get that out of you.
Yeah, I feel that. But anyways, I appreciate everybody for coming through. Please, K-Meg, go on ahead and plug your stuff so we can get up out of
Yeah. Oh man, come and check me out on Twitter at KMega4. I do have a Threads channel or page. It's KMega underscore 405. Also on my YouTube channel, KMega 405. Come and check it out. The latest episode of GRG. Really good. We had 2 guests on. We had Callie Rex and we had a Stick Figure. You know what I'm saying? Really good dude. You know what I'm saying? And Callie Rex, I'm going to hunt you down in LA for over there, trying to risk it all because I showed pictures of my daughter today. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I don't care about y'all being the same age. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get you. No, I'm playing anyway. But no, thanks for the compliment though.
They make it playing defense.
I'm a cock blocker all day. Yes, sir. I'm the biggest cock blocker. You understand that?
We see your bat. Relax.
Oh, this look. Yeah, there ain't gonna be no bat dealing with baby girl, baby with the poof. It's gonna be a hammer. Something that cocks back anyway. But yeah, really do appreciate it, man. Come and check me out. You know what I'm saying? Have fun. Game on Xbox, on PC. I do have a PlayStation, the old PlayStation. I have to turn her on. I keep saying I'm going to turn her on. Matter of fact, I'm finna turn her on right now before we end the show so I can, blow the dust off, maybe play a little something. Thanks, guys. Really do appreciate it.
That thing. Oh, man. Disrespectful.
Turn on. Let's go ahead and turn on right now. Come on.
Oh, man. He said, start your engine. All right. All right. Well, anyways, I really appreciate y'all coming through. Thank you so much to all of you that have came through, whether it's now or after we've been live. Had several different people come through and say some awesome stuff in the chat. Thank you so much. Make sure you guys show up tomorrow for Loke and me on the lowdown. We're going to talk about whatever crazy topics that he's drawn up. He's always drawn up something wild. So I'm sure it'll be pretty interesting and it's going to catch me off guard. And you guys can sit back and enjoy. But anyways, check us out tomorrow, 1 p.m. Central Time, Lord's Time, or 2 p.m. Eastern for the lowdown tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for coming through and checking us out. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Other than that, see you guys soon. And as I always say, it's your boy Ham Solo from TSWS Gaming. Make sure you're keeping it gaming, keeping it moving. Peace.
Man, it's taking a long time for this damn thing to charge up my damn thing. Come on, PlayStation, get to moving. All right, there we go.